Han Li's Wuxia Adventures. Chapter 986, The Crow's Caw When the Moon Goes Down. Lin Feng looked at Hua Zhangfeng. Lin Feng didn't understand what was going on. Lin Feng looked at the siblings. They were both looking at him strangely. They didn't understand. They didn't hear it, thought Lin Feng. He was the only one who had heard the dragon chant. Yan Di, did you hear anything? Asked Lin Feng using telepathy. He wanted to make sure. Xiong Qi looked at him and said, I haven't heard anything. What did you hear, little boy? The dragon chant, said Lin Feng. He had nothing to hide from Xiong Qi. Xiong Qi was surprised. Lin Feng had heard a dragon chant. It's nothing. I suddenly thought about something important, that's all, said Lin Feng to Hua Zhangfeng smiling. He didn't want to tell them he had heard the dragon chant. It was better to keep some things secret, he trusted that they wouldn't ask anyways. Hua Zhangfeng was skeptical, but thought it wouldn't be polite to ask for more information. He just looked back at the tower. There were many people flocking to the tower. Little boy, are you sure you really heard a dragon chant? Asked Xiong Qi in a grave and serious way. Dragons were imperial creatures. I'm not sure, said Lin Feng shaking his head. You're not sure? Asked Xiong Qi. I've never heard anything like that, so I can't be sure. But my body started shaking and my blood was boiling. It felt like my body was going to explode. It felt like blood strength, said Lin Feng. You've never had that kind of feeling before? Never, replied Lin Feng immediately. Your blood is very weak, said Xiong Qi. Because Lin Feng's blood wasn't strong enough, the dragon chant had caused a painful reaction in Lin Feng's body. Even those who had poor blood could have powerful reactions if the cause was intense enough. What type is your blood strength? Asked Xiong Qi. I don't know. I've heard that my mother's ancestor was a Zun cultivator who had swallowed the strength of a 9-headed dragon. Then, he turned it into blood strength before transmitting it to us as the 9-headed dragon spirit, replied Lin Feng. The 9-headed dragon. Xiong Qi's eyes were twinkling. No wonder your blood is so weak. Your ancestor was a Zun cultivator, but since you have the 9-headed dragon blood strength, you reacted to the dragon chant. However, it wasn't a long chant, because anyone can hear those. Oh. Lin Feng understood. A small shout like that had already caused him to react in quite a strong way though. Lin Feng looked at the Black Crow Tower. The cultivators who were going there had probably reacted like him. But they were probably stronger than him and didn't react so strongly. With a strong blood, cultivators could do things like Prince Tian Lin and Chou Jun Luo, like directly mixing their blood strength with their spirit. Brother Lin, something is happening, said Hua Zhangfeng. Indeed. Lin Feng nodded. Even more people were approaching. They had probably heard the dragon chant before, so they were going there now. Anything could happen, so people thought staying together was safer. Woo! Lin Feng started shaking and his blood started boiling again. Another dragon chant. That one was more intense than the one before. Lin Feng hid his reaction this time so Hua Zhangfeng didn't notice anything. Brother Lin, there are so many strong cultivators going there, should we go as well? Why not? Yes, let's go. Those strong cultivators don't care about us, said Lin Feng calmly even though his heart was pounding violently. 2 dragon chants, was something happening? Zhang Feng, shouted someone at that moment. Lin Feng and Hua Zhangfeng raised their heads and saw several people who all looked extraordinary. Brothers, you're here already, said Hua Zhangfeng. Zhangfeng, there were 2 dragon chants. Something might happen. You should leave with your sister, it's too dangerous for you guys, said someone in the sky and then left. Hua Zhangfeng was surprised, 2 dragon chants. Hua Zhangfeng looked at Lin Feng, he was going to say something. Brother Hua, wouldn't it be a pity not to see what's going on there, said Lin Feng with an indifferent smile. Of course, if you want to leave, I'll go alone. Huh, you're brave. How could I disappoint you, said Hua Zhangfeng with a nice smile. They continued moving forwards. Lin Feng smiled but remained speechless. Lin Feng heard a third dragon chant and his reaction was the same as before. Suddenly, the atmosphere became eerily calm. A pale light appeared. Lin Feng raised his head and saw people gathering in front of the moon. Kra, kra, crows cawed and flew away from the tower. What's going on? Said Hua Zhangfeng. What's wrong? Asked Lin Feng. Hua Zhangfeng looked at Lin Feng and said slowly, the crows caw when the moon goes down. The crows caw when the moon goes down. Lin Feng frowned. He didn't understand what Hua Zhangfeng meant. Brother Lin, when dragons chant in the middle of the night, it is an auspicious sign, it means good things will happen. When the crows caw when the moon goes down, it is an inauspicious sign, it means death, explained Hua Zhangfeng. He looked grave. Tonight, the dragons are chanting and the crows are cawing, that sounds like a battle between good and evil. I'm not familiar with those expressions, whispered Lin Feng. Could those expressions be taken seriously anyway? Indeed. In the past, people firmly believed those sayings. It's about cultivators fighting against the earth and sky, explained Hua Zhangfeng. Oh, it comes from the antiquity. Two forces emerging from the night. Lin Feng looked at Xiong Qi. Indeed. Xiong Qi nodded. Even an emperor believed in those things. Lin Feng felt excited, impatient and scared at the same time. What was going to happen? At that moment, the boat arrived on the land surrounding the tower. There were so many strong cultivators gathered there. Chapter 987, flowing backwards. There were many other towers on the island, but the Black Crow Tower was at the center. At the top of the tower surrounding the Black Crow Tower were many extremely hard black stones. They were so hard that it would be difficult for Tian-level cultivators to break them. Lin Feng was near the river, observing from a distance. There were 100 people gathered all together. The fact that the crows were cawing didn't seem to scare the cultivators away. How could they miss an opportunity? Of course, they were all high-level Zoom cultivators. Tian-level cultivators should stay below because nobody knew what was going to happen. They could just watch from the bottom and see if they could get lucky with some treasures, if there was even an opportunity. When the crows caw, bad luck is bound to appear, someone said from the distance. Several more people landed on the tower. 3 chants, yet you're still so calm, I admire you, guys. The leader looked very young. His chi was unfathomable. Lin Feng frowned. That guy had the same smile as Yang Zilan. Brother Yang Zhan, you already started causing trouble even though you just arrived, someone said. Was that person a member of the Yang clan? Who's that guy, Brother Hua? Asked Lin Feng in a low voice. Yang Zhan from the Yang clan. He's a potential candidate to become the leader of the Yang clan in the future. Of course, there are other incredible cultivators our age in the Yang clan who could become leaders. They have to see how strong they will become in the future before deciding. There are many people in the Yang clan. Nobody can predict the future, but at this moment, he's the best, replied Hua Zhangfeng. What is his connection to Yang Zilan? Asked Lin Feng. His elder brother, but basically they're of the same generation. You've been here for a short time and have already made friends with the people from the Yang clan, I see, said Hua Zhangfeng with a smile. Made friends? Lin Feng shook his head, but said nothing. No wonder Yang Zhan was considered the best for his age. Yang Zilan and he were of the same generation, but Yang Zhan had already broken through to the Zoom Qi layer. Hee hee. Yang Zhan laughed. They hadn't waited for him. They started because of the crows, nothing more. 3 chants, should we attack? Asked Yang Zhan. 3 chants have been heard. The veins of the earth are strong enough now, let's start. But, be careful not to damage the veins. Lin Feng frowned and whispered, why don't they start? What's the problem? Ignorant, said Xiong Qi in a despising way. He used telepathy to say, the earth has veins. The force of the earth and sky we use comes from those veins. That's a precious treasure the gods have given us. The chance of the dragon is a sign. Making the forces of the earth and sky unbalanced could lead to huge problems. I see, nodded Lin Feng. It was no wonder those strong cultivators were gathering, but not doing anything. The veins are solid enough now, so why not start, shouted someone extremely loudly. That person then immediately landed on the Black Crow Tower, the highest one. What an arrogant guy, thought Lin Feng. Nobody was on the highest tower, not even Yang Zhan. The Black Crow Tower was the highest one, so it meant he despised everyone else. The most surprising thing was that cultivator had only broken through to the Tian Qi layer. They weren't even a Zun cultivator. Brother Xian Yan. Yang Zhan nodded at that guy. That guy was Xian Yuan. Xian Yuan looked at Yang Zhan and nodded indifferently. He was just being polite. Oh no, he's here too, thought many people. He wasn't a Zun cultivator, but he had amazing fighting abilities and his social status sufficed to scare people. Xian Yuan, sure. That's him, thought Lin Feng. He's the one who wants to rank first at Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's recruitment process. He also wants to invite the two emperors to his wedding when he marries Yang Ziyi. They keep talking, blah blah blah. When will they start, damn? Xiong Qi looked impatient. Lin Feng rolled his eyes. There were so many strong cultivators there. Lin Feng didn't feel safe. Lin Feng, when you start later, beware of those people and also of the guy on the northern tower, said Xiong Qi using telepathy. Lin Feng looked in the direction of the northern tower and saw a silhouette. It was a cultivator in a black robe, but it was as if nobody had noticed him. Lin Feng nodded. That person was probably very dangerous. Do you think I'm going to participate? Lin Feng rolled his eyes. Are you afraid? An emperor is helping you and will protect you. Don't forget that I'm with you at all times, said Xiong Qi. Lin Feng turned to Xiong Qi and pet his head with a smile. I'm just doing that so that nobody notices you, said Lin Feng. Xiong Qi could secretly protect Lin Feng, how kind. Will you? Asked Xiong Qi. Lin Feng smiled and said, I will. Since Xiong Qi could protect him, why not participate? Everybody, let's start, said Xian Yuan. Everybody nodded. Alright, let's start. Yang Zhan added. Everybody nodded again and they started releasing qi. Break! Break! Shouted people furiously. The ground started shaking and a tsunami appeared on the gigantic river around the island. Bzzz. There were gigantic waves. Hua Zhangfeng used a technique so the water couldn't get into his boat. Lin Feng looked at the waves. Boom! The crowd saw some qi rise up and were surprised. Ah! A horrible shriek spread in the air. Up! Shouted Hua Zhangfeng loudly while taking his sister up into the air. Lin Feng and Xiong Qi rose up in the air too. The boat had broken in that exact moment. Ah, no! A horrible shriek spread in the air. Lin Feng and Xiong Qi jumped onto a tower and looked at the river. Desolate qi was rising quickly. Desolate qi. The river was flowing backwards and that desolate qi was concerning. The crows caw when the moon goes down, thought the crowd. How inauspicious. Chapter 988, Dragon Palace. Many people who were standing above the river died when the waves touched them, especially those who were weaker. In just that moment, around 100 people died. The crows were still cawing. Boom boom boom. Explosion sounded as people realized something was appearing where the water was previously. The water was flowing away and something appeared on its bed. Lin Feng was at the top of a tower. Just like the others, the distance between the towers was increasing, they were moving in every direction. The desolate qi was becoming even more intense as this was happening. A terrifying cloud rose up in the air. People raised their heads. They felt they couldn't breathe anymore. A silhouette appeared in the sky, it was a gigantic pitch-black dragon. A dragon, there is an actual dragon. People's hearts were pounding. That was an imperial animal. Boom boom, the water of the river was slowly being evacuated. But even though Lin Feng was standing on a tower, he was already at the same level as the water. The island with the towers had sunk about 100 meters into the water. The surroundings looked incredible yet inauspicious. It's not over. The tower on which Lin Feng was standing was still moving. It was sinking and moving outwards. At the beginning, the towers were lofty and not so far from each other. Now, there was a huge distance between the towers. Boom boom, an explosion sounded. A palace was slowly appearing from the water. It is, a palace. Lin Feng was astonished. It was a gigantic dragon palace and there were carvings on it. It looked so old that Lin Feng couldn't guess its age. The carvings represented dragons. A dragon palace, said Qiongqi. Lin Feng's heart started pounding. A dragon palace. It was actually a dragon palace. Lin Feng could only imagine what happened. The dragon palace had sunk in the water a long time ago and people had forgotten about it since. Desolate qi. The crowd was speechless. Dragon chants, a dragon palace, desolate qi. It meant that the legends were wrong. The desolate qi had neither appeared because of battles in the antiquity nor because strong cultivators had practiced cultivation there. It was because of the dragon palace. Lin Feng turned around and saw that after the water flowed out of the hole where the dragon palace had appeared, it stopped flowing out as if the towers had acted as plugs. No, someone else gave a horrible shriek. That person fell from the sky, dead. They weren't able to withstand the power of the desolate qi either. Even though the desolate qi wasn't as intense as in the Huang Sea, it was still desolate qi. Cultivators of the Tian qi layer who weren't strong could barely survive. Why is there desolate qi here? Why is there desolate qi in the Huang Sea too? Whispered Lin Feng. Some people say that desolate qi is the most primitive form of destruction energies, replied Qiongqi. You want me to put you back in the animal tower? Nah, that's fine. Don't worry about me, said Qiongqi looking at the palace. He then said, don't do anything yet. That dragon was been attacked a lot in the past, that's why it's acting like that. Lin Feng nodded. He didn't need Qiongqi to tell him that. There were so many strong cultivators there, he clearly wasn't the best choice to do anything. The crows caw when the moon goes down. Of course there are people who die. Many people will die today, said Qiongqi. He was seemingly talking to himself as he continued, but dragon chants in the middle of the night, it means there will be opportunities. Who will seize them? Little boy, it won't be easy for you to seize such an opportunity, you'll have to be perseverant. I'll do my best, said Lin Feng. He didn't understand what it had to do with determination, making these efforts was enough. Xian Yuan took this moment to jump towards the dragon palace. He had only broken through to the Tian qi layer, but he had balls. Xian Yuan arrived in front of the entrance, he raised his hands and a celestial golden axe appeared. Then, Xian Yuan hit the entrance of the dragon palace with his axe. Kacha, crackling sound spread in the air. Maybe because Xian Yuan was strong, or maybe because the dragon palace was old and not solid. The attack worked anyway. Golden lights surrounded Xian Yuan's body and his blood spirit emitted whistling sounds, he jumped forwards and broke through the desolate qi. Then, he entered the dragon palace. Xian Yuan is so strong, his blood strength is amazing, thought the crowd. Xian Yuan, just like the rumors stated, was incredible and fearless. He was the first to enter the Dragon Palace. "Let's go," shouted a voice loudly. The Zun cultivators released a powerful qi and followed him. "Let's go in," said Lin Feng to Qiong Qi. They also followed. "Brother Lin, it's dangerous," said Hua Zhangfeng. He was surprised that Lin Feng wanted to go into the palace. Lin Feng was brave. Hua Zhangfeng could barely withstand the oppressive power of the desolate qi, and surprisingly, Lin Feng wanted to go inside the palace. "Brother Hua, this place really seems dangerous." "Leave if you can," said Lin Feng. Then, he turned around and went into the Dragon Palace. Hua Zhangfeng was astonished. Xian Yuan and Lin Feng were the only two Tian-level cultivators there. But Xian Yuan had imperial blood, he had a powerful family, he had also broken through to the 7th Tian Qi layer. However, Lin Feng had only broken through to the 2nd Tian Qi layer, saying he was brave wasn't even enough anymore. If Lin Feng hadn't previously impressed him, he would think that Lin Feng was insane and suicidal. The desolate qi was incredible inside that castle. Lin Feng didn't mind though, he could control it. Qiong Qi released fire which burned the desolate qi slowly. "Piss off." Some people passed in front of Lin Feng very quickly. "Dead animal ghosts, damn." Something was attacking Qiong Qi, but he avoided the attack. Then, Lin Feng turned around and saw some people fight the animals. Those animals were dead, but their ghosts were very active. "Little boy, help me." "They are not afraid of fire," said Qiong Qi. Lin Feng attacked the dead animals which were attacking Qiong Qi. He punched one of them, as if the dead animal had sensed it, it also punched the air in Lin Feng's direction. Boom boom. The strength of the ghost made Lin Feng groan with pain. "Shit," swore Lin Feng. Qiong Qi was so strong yet couldn't do anything. Boom. A sound spread in the air. A dead animal had exploded when Xian Yuan crushed them. He looked like an overlord. "Damn cultivator of the 2nd Tian Qi layer, piss off," said Xian Yuan tat Lin Feng. He was furious. His voice was so loud that Lin Feng thought his blood was going to explode, he even started bleeding. Xian Yuan didn't look at him again and continued moving towards the depths of the Dragon Palace. The dead beasts couldn't stop him. "Xian Yuan, you're so cruel," thought Lin Feng looking at him, but he didn't leave. He followed the crowd into the depths of the palace. Chapter 989, Dragon's Heart, Imperial Blood. "Did you sense it?" Qiong Qi was terribly excited and smiled at Lin Feng. Lin Feng looked at Qiong Qi angrily. Was Qiong Qi gloating over his misfortune? Of course he sensed it. Xian Yuan had shouted and Lin Feng's blood started boiling because of that imperial blood strength. Xian Yuan had a strong blood, which some low-level Zun cultivators couldn't even compete with. "Don't look at me that way. It's good for you to see those kinds of people," said Qiong Qi smiling. He continued, "Let's follow them. If we're the last ones, we won't be able to get any treasures." Lin Feng nodded. They followed Xian Yuan and the other Zun cultivators into the depths of the Dragon Palace. Soon they arrived in a room with several gigantic dragon scales inside that contained a terrifying qi. Dragon scales. Lin Feng also had some dragon scales. He obtained a couple of them back in the mysterious world. However, his dragon scales weren't as big. Those dragon scales were as big as 2 hands. Boom. The Zun cultivators' silhouettes flickered, a few of them started picking up dragon scales. Roar, a very loud and terrifying dragon sound shook the palace. It made everybody shiver. Qiong Qi didn't say anything, but instantly grabbed Lin Feng and pulled him back. They very quickly retreated. Roar, roar, the dragon sounds came from the dragon scales. Lin Feng realized that the Zun cultivators who had picked up dragon scales had collapsed and were now motionlessly lying on the ground. "They're dead." Lin Feng was astonished. Luckily, they had ran backwards and hadn't touched the dragon scales themselves. The dragon shouts were incredible, they contained an obscure strength which could kill people's souls. Those who had thrown away the dragon scales hadn't died though. Their blood just started flowing with an incredible speed and their hearts started pounding. They couldn't calm down. An incredible strength had been sealed in those dragon scales. A Zune-level beast must have done that. He hadn't turned into an imperial beast yet, otherwise, nobody could have escaped. Dragons are imperial beasts in the sense that they're noble. That Zune-level beast had already reached the top of the Zune Chi layer and very few Zune-level cultivators or beasts could defeat him, explained Xiong Qi to Lin Feng using telepathy. Apart from Emperor-level beasts, that Zune-level beast probably had no equal. We can't take the dragon scales, people were furious. There were treasures in front of them, but they handle them. At that moment, Xian Yuan continued. His blood was emitting roaring sounds. A blood-like red light illuminated the atmosphere and it came from Xian Yuan's hand. The light then turned into an actual dragon. Capture, roar. A dragon scale flew into Xian Yuan's hand. Roaring and whistling sounds spread in the air. Everything felt like it was going to collapse. His blood strength had turned into a dragon and grabbed the dragon scales. Then, they disappeared. He put them in his ring. Brother Xian Yuan, no wonder you have imperial blood, said Yang Zhan. Xian Yuan could do what Zune cultivators couldn't do. Let's go. I don't want to waste any time here, said Xian Yuan. The crows had cawed, but the dragon kept chanting. They were wondering where the chant came from. The remaining Zune cultivators followed Xian Yuan. Lin Feng remained motionless though. One person was left in the room, it was the black silhouette Xiong Qi had warned him about. He glanced at Lin Feng and said in a deep voice, a cultivator of the second Tian Qi layer can surprisingly survive in such a dense desolate Qi. Then, he turned around and released a strange and enigmatic strength which surrounded the dragon scales. He opened his hands and the scales suddenly appeared there. Lin Feng was aghast. Especially since that the cultivator had managed to grab the dragon scales without them emitting any sound. You're an animal, said Xiong Qi. The cultivator was about to leave, but stopped again. He turned his head, looked at Xiong Qi and said, there are some things you shouldn't say, even if you know you're right. His tone was ice-cold. He released an ice-cold qi which suddenly enveloped Lin Feng and Xiong Qi. There's no need to be like that, we're the same, said Xiong Qi turning into a human being as well. He was surrounded by beautiful red lights. We, said that person looking at Lin Feng. Xiong Qi was a beast, Lin Feng was clearly a human being. Show him, said Xiong Qi to Lin Feng. Lin Feng was nervous, what did Xiong Qi mean? However, he looked at the cultivator and opened his bestial consciousness. Strange, you're a beast but I didn't sense it, said the cultivator looking at Lin Feng. He had a bestial consciousness, he definitely had to be an animal. No wonder the desolate qi didn't affect him. It was his secret as well. We're brothers, since we're here and since we're the same, let's join hands and benefit from these opportunities, said Xiong Qi. Alright, I agree, said the dark shadow and then he left. He's a beast. Lin Feng was still thinking it over. He looked at Xiong Qi who had turned into a human being. Xiong Qi was a bit careless sometimes. Little boy, we're weak but now we have a new friend, isn't that great, said Xiong Qi who looked handsome as a human being. He had a friendly yet strange smile. Lin Feng wasn't used to that smile. Lin Feng and Xiong Qi continued moving into the depths of the dragon palace. There were some dead bodies and all of them were marine animals. Lin Feng even saw the skeleton of a flood dragon, unfortunately, there was nothing left to take from it. They continued moving along and arrived in a dazzling palace. The desolate qi was incredible there. Lin Feng was surprised, there was a real dragon there, but it was dead. It was a dozen meters long, even though it was dead, it looked majestic. Its claws were in the ground as if it had dug into it. Its head pointed upwards as if it were chanting. There were gigantic crystals in its mouth which contained bestial chi. There were grey dragon illusions around it, as if they were protecting the crystal. A dragon heart, people were astonished. It was an actual dragon heart, it absolutely contained an incredible strength. The Zune cultivators didn't try to take it, but they looked greedy. Surprisingly, there was a dragon heart in the dragon palace. Even though they all wanted it, nobody moved. It contained an incredible strength and they were all wondering how powerful it was. That kind of strength could possibly kill them instantly. Even Xian Yuan didn't act carelessly. He didn't know how powerful the strength it contained was. He couldn't evaluate it. However, Qiong Qi's eyes were twinkling. Nobody could know what he was thinking. Chapter 990, I didn't kill you though. Yen Di, can we take it? Asked Lin Feng. His eyes were twinkling as well. The heart of a Zune-level beast was extremely precious. If you want to die, go and try. If you touch it, you'll instantly die, said Qiong Qi. Lin Feng smiled wryly. Even the Zune cultivators who were there didn't dare touch it. What can we do? Asked Lin Feng annoyed. Could they only enjoy looking at it? Wait, they're not in a rush, why are you? Replied Qiong Qi. Lin Feng remained silent and observed. At that moment, a black silhouette slowly walked towards the heart. He was surrounded by grey qi. Everybody looked, but nobody prevented him from trying. The grey qi surrounded the heart. Kacha. A terrifying thunderclap light illuminated the atmosphere. The grey qi turned pale blue like a lightning and thunder energies penetrated into the heart which caused everything to start shaking violently. Boom boom boom. The whole room started shaking violently as well as the people inside. Kacha, boom ka, the thunder kept emitting roars all around. Roar, 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 the dragon was shouting furiously. An explosion sounded as people's blood suddenly started boiling. Qiong Qi and Lin Feng were very far. However, Lin Feng was injured and groaned with pain. Blood splashed out of his mouth and his face turned deathly pale. Lin Feng raised his head, speechless. If he had tried to get the heart, he would have died. Slash, slash. The thunder lights were dazzling and the heart was still shaking. A dragon shadow appeared around the heart. The grey energy seemed like it was alive as well. Let's do it together. Otherwise, nobody will get the heart, said Xian Yuan at that moment. His blood strength started rolling in the air and a blood spear appeared. Die, shouted Xian Yuan furiously while throwing his spear at the dragon shadow. Roar, the dragon moved towards Xian Yuan and turned into a terrifying desolate qi shadow. Boom. Blood-like red lights enveloped Xian Yuan's body. He was using his blood strength to protect himself. The desolate qi couldn't affect him, so it dispersed. The other strong cultivators also started moving. However, 2 Zune cultivators died because of their carelessness. They had underestimated that desolate qi. Those dragon shadows are trying to kill all of us, thought Lin Feng. He had thought that the dragon shadows were just protecting the heart, he hadn't thought they could also attack people. Die, die, shouted the cultivators furiously while jumping towards the dragon shadows. Bzzz. A terrifying wave of energy emerged from the heart as the whole area was filled with bestial energies. It was as if time and space were frozen. The cultivators suddenly felt petrified, they could barely move. Dragon constriction strength, whispered Qiong Qi. The lights which surrounded the cultivators turned into dragon shadows. That was dragon constriction energy was a special ability dragons had. Little boy, that heart contains extremely pure dragon strength, they can't get to it. They will die if they keep trying, said Qiong Qi using telepathy. They were stuck there, even though they were standing far away and didn't participate in the battle. "Break!" shouted Xian Yuan furiously. His blood emitted whistling sounds again and surrounded the dragon constriction energy. Xian Yuan's blood was powerful, but it alone couldn't break the dragon constriction energy. Everybody was constricted as if they had fallen into quicksand. Xian Yuan seemed like he understood something as he slowly moved away. All-embracing power, capture. Dazzling lights appeared behind Xian Yuan. The dazzling lights suddenly surrounded the heart, mysterious marks appeared and started flowing inside the heart. Holy marks, holy weapon. Xiong Qi was surprised and angry. Oh no, he's got a holy weapon, a very powerful one at that. Boom boom, the holy marks flowed into the heart. The whole room started shaking violently again. It seemed like it was going to collapse as water started flowing into the room. Xian Yuan continued using his weapon. He mixed his blood strength with the holy weapon and slowly moved his hands. He wanted to capture the heart with the all-embracing power spell. The heart kept shaking violently. "Stop him!" shouted someone furiously. "Yang Zhan, help me!" shouted Xian Yuan furiously. His blood strength seemed like it was going to explode. He was barely handling it. "All right," said Yang Zhan jumping forwards. He arrived behind Xian Yuan and released sword energies which lacerated everything. Cut marks appeared everywhere on the walls. He was protecting Xian Yuan from those who wanted to attack him. "Piss off." Black energies appeared and moved towards Yang Zhan. "Go back," shouted Yang Zhan. Two mountain shadows appeared and moved towards the attacker. Boom boom, the black energies and the mountain-like energy collided. The room shook even more violently. Water was flowing everywhere now, it covered everybody, but nobody paid attention to it. "It's mine, fuck off," shouted Xian Yuan furiously. He jumped forwards and tried to grab the heart with his all-embracing power spell. Snowflakes suddenly appeared in the room. Many people were wondering what it was and where it came from. "Empty space bestial illusion technique," thought Lin Feng. His snowy tunnel appeared. In a flash, Xian Yuan was in the tunnel. He stretched his hand but he was moving farther and farther away from his all-embracing power weapon. He was losing control. Slash, slash, the holy marks disappeared and the bestial strength contained in the heart broke the constriction of the all-embracing power weapon. Boom! Bestial lights invaded the room again. Who did that? Xian Yuan was furious. He released his qi. Surprisingly, someone had gotten to him at the very last minute. The snow disappeared and the heart attacked Xian Yuan. "Piss off." Xian Yuan was furious. His blood strength was boiling. However, he couldn't block the strength from the heart which crashed onto him. Blood splashed everywhere. Boom boom boom, the heart started to shake violently again, it seemed furious. A few people's godly awareness were even attacked and they died instantly. Boom boom, the heart was attacking the dragon palace which seemed like it was going to collapse. Roar! Xian Yuan shouted furiously and glanced at everybody. Who attacked him by surprise? He didn't have time to look for the guilty one now, it was more important to get the heart. He would settle accounts later, though. "I didn't kill you though," thought Lin Feng with a cold smile. Chapter 991, Chanting and Talking Dragon. The other strong cultivators started breaking the palace. They wanted to leave by any means they could, the heart was too dangerous. "Let's go," said Lin Feng while starting to run. He wanted to leave too, but Xiong Qi suddenly shouted, "Stop." Lin Feng stopped and looked at Xiong Qi, perplexed. "We're not leaving." "You can use your demon seal stones to oppress the room," said Xiong Qi annoyed. "Wasn't the palace going to be flooded and the cultivators going to drown?" Lin Feng was surprised. Loud sounds kept blasting in the palace. The statues and the skeletons were shaking and breaking apart, and they were already almost submerged. The room was going to collapse. What did Xiong-Chi intend to do? Are we not leaving? Asked Lin Feng. We're not leaving. Hurry up and seal the room. If we leave, we won't obtain the heart. Those idiots don't understand how the dragon heart functions, said Xiong-Chi. Lin Feng was speechless. Xiong-Chi despised those people too much. Interesting, said Lin Feng, but he didn't hesitate anymore. He took out a demon seal stone and used it on the walls of the room. The water stopped and then continued following. Lin Feng looked at Xiong-Chi and asked, "What's going on?" "The dragon left his heart there on purpose to draw those idiots' attention," said Xiong-Chi, walking towards the heart. Xiong-Chi looked at the claws of the dragon. "If the dragon had anything really important, it's in his claws under his belly on which he's lying," said Xiong-Chi. His eyes were twinkling. "You mean that there's something in his claws?" Lin Feng was staring at Xiong-Chi. "Let's see if we can move the carcass," said Xiong-Chi. Lin Feng released Sword Chi. "Break!" he shouted furiously. Lin Feng's hand turned into a sword which he used to cut into the skeleton. Metallic sounds clanked as the arm of the dragon was cut, but the claws were still firmly stuck in the ground. His body decomposed from the desolate chi, even though he used to be more resistant. "It is only because it was weakened from the chi that you can cut into him, otherwise you wouldn't have had such an easy time," said Xiong-Chi. Lin Feng was trying to move the claw but it was firmly stuck. It really looked like it was protecting something. "It's not that solid, break it," said Xiong-Chi. Lin Feng nodded. His hand turned into a sword again. He was now trying to saw the claw off, which he was succeeding, bit by bit. There was nothing in the ground, only the dragon's footprint. Lin Feng frowned and looked at Xiong-Chi. Xiong-Chi walked over and inspected the footprint intensely. Then, he started carving things in the ground. He was drawing a dragon. Lin Feng was wondering what Xiong-Chi was doing. Mysterious marks appeared, dragon marks. "As expected, there's a dragon language technique hidden in the ground," said Xiong-Chi. His eyes were twinkling. Fortunately, Xiong-Chi understood those things. Lin Feng would have never been able to find them on his own. What was hidden under the dragon was probably more precious than his heart. The heart was there just to distract people. "Can we break it?" asked Lin Feng. "If you break it, you'll ruin everything the dragon did," said Xiong-Chi in a despising way. He then added, "Those marks connect the whole palace, I need time. I hope those idiots won't find out what I'm doing, otherwise, the whole plan will be ruined." At the same time, Xiong-Chi was opening the marks. Lin Feng was very nervous. He was scared that the others would find out what they're doing. The others were only interested in the heart at the moment, so Lin Feng and Xiong-Chi still had time. Xiong-Chi was using his full strength to draw things into ground with his fastest speed. More and more marks were appearing. It seemed like something was sealed underneath them. What's hidden underneath? The dragon made such great efforts to hide that treasure. Lin Feng's eyes were twinkling. Waves of energies kept coming out of the heart and making the whole room shake. Water was still flowing into the room. The dragon had used various methods to prevent most people from finding his treasures. What was he hiding precisely? Boom, 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 the palace shook even more violently as a magnificent and dazzling light illuminated the atmosphere which contained bestial strength. The dragon had used various special and deadly methods to distract people. He had fooled everyone but Xiong-Chi. The palace was shaking even more violently. As Xiong-Chi discovered the carvings, the lights were becoming more intense. Boom, the whole room started collapsing. The demon seal stone couldn't keep the room together any longer. Roar, the dragon roared. Lin Feng collapsed from the intensity of the sound. The voice had actually came from the skeleton. Kacha, kaboom. The skeleton started breaking apart and falling into ashes. The skeleton is breaking apart. The last sound the dragon had emitted sounded like he wasn't happy at all, as if he hadn't thought that Xiong-Chi would find out about his secret. We don't have much more time, hurry up, said Lin Feng. The dragon palace was falling apart and people outside wanted to come back and see. Alright, said Xiong-Chi. The ground was breaking apart following 2 marks in 2 directions. There's another cave underneath it, Lin Feng realized. With the room collapsing, they would soon be buried in that room if they stayed any longer. Roar, Lin Feng started shaking violently. Dragon chants in the middle of the night. Lin Feng's blood was boiling even more intensely than before. That was a real dragon chant. A dazzling red light appeared. This time, the chant of the dragon didn't stop. Lin Feng's blood was boiling. He couldn't calm down. What a scary sensation. At the same time, he kept looking at the underground room which was appearing in front him. Little boy, let's get down quickly, shouted Xiong-Chi. He grabbed Lin Feng and jumped into the underground room. The dragon voice was stopping the other cultivators in their tracks. Xiong-Chi shouted furiously, stop. However, Lin Feng didn't stop. He was still swallowing everything as if the world around him didn't exist anymore. Because he didn't stop, he swallowed the heart. Xiong-Chi's eyes were wide open in shock. You bastard! Animal! You're useless, shouted Xiong-Chi. He was fuming with anger. Lin Feng had swallowed the whole heart. The dragon heart contained incredible energies. Xiong-Chi wanted to use a part of it too, but Lin Feng took it all for himself. Xiong-Chi was really annoyed. Roar, the dragon chant was making the whole room shake now. Lin Feng was shaking so violently that blood splashed out of his mouth. He opened his eyes and felt confused. Xiong-Chi was astonished. A dragon shadow appeared in front of them and it had murder in his eyes. You ate my child, said the dragon while staring at Lin Feng. Roar, the dragon roared furiously. Lin Feng was still bleeding. His child? Xiong-Chi was astonished too. He suddenly understood everything though. The dragon spirit had used its last remaining strength to protect his child. Everything was clear now. No wonder the dragon didn't want other people to discover his secret. However, Lin Feng had carelessly swallowed his child whole. Damn human being! Die, shouted the dragon. If you kill him, you'll kill your child too, said Xiong-Chi. The dragon was already in front of Lin Feng. He was about to crush Lin Feng to death with his claws, but stopped and turned around. He coldly stared at Xiong-Chi. There are many strong cultivators outside right now. If you kill him, even if your child comes out, the strong cultivators will come in and kill your child all the same. All your efforts will have been in vain, said Xiong-Chi in a solemn and respectful way. Xiong-Chi's words affected the dragon. Indeed, that would be pointless. You'll both die though. No matter what, said the dragon. You're a dragon. He swallowed your blood. He'll have your blood in his body from now on. Even though he ate your child, he didn't kill him. Now, with his blood strength, he can raise your child. He can protect him. That's better than being stuck in here for eternity, said Xiong-Chi. The dragon looked perplexed, but still looked furious. He looked at Xiong-Chi and said, I don't believe you, you'll kill my child. I guarantee you will do our best to make your child come back to life. You're a stupid animal, how can you guarantee anything, said the dragon. Bullshit, look at me carefully, do I look like a Tian-level beast? Could a Tian-level beast understand dragon language and carve dragon marks, said Xiong-Chi. His hair was fluttering with energies. He looked majestic and powerful as stared back at the dragon, fearlessly and proudly. Xiong-Chi looked aggressive, powerful, dignified and majestic at that moment. Lin Feng was astonished. Xiong-Chi even looked extremely handsome. But at the same time, Lin Feng still couldn't realize he had eaten a baby dragon. "Who are you?" asked the dragon. He could sense that Qiong Qi was extraordinary. That kind of qi couldn't be feigned. It was a power that resonated from deep in someone's bones. "I am the Flame Emperor Yen Di. I lost my cultivation level because of an incredible war a long time ago, so now I have the body of a Tian-level beast. But I guarantee you, you can trust us." "Don't worry," said Qiong Qi, whose hair was still fluttering. The dragon looked at Qiong Qi calmly and respectfully. Even an incredible dragon respected Yen Di. Chapter 993, More and More People Around the Dragon. Yen Di. Yen Di was a great emperor back in the day. Qiong Qi looked domineering and majestic. His qi looked extraordinary. Even the dragon felt like he could trust Yen Di. Even though Qiong Qi had lost his cultivation level and his powers, maybe he could recover them in the future. If such a day came, Qiong Qi would easily be able to kill and destroy some of the strongest living beings in the cultivation world. "You guarantee that you won't kill my child and will protect him," said the dragon. "I, Yen Di, promise you. Whenever we have the opportunity, we'll even make your child come back to life," said Yen Di again in a solemn and respectful way. The dragon remained silent as his shadow became less and less distinct, as if he was going to disappear. "Roar!" The dragon raised his head and roared. He had no choice. He had to seize that opportunity. Yen Di was a great emperor. Even though the dragon couldn't be 100% sure Yen Di would protect his child, he had no choice but believe him. What could he do anyways? As Yen Di had said, even if he took his child out of Lin Feng, what could he do? Keep him imprisoned in a cave. With Yen Di, the dragon child would have many opportunities. He had no choice. "I believe you, please take care of my child," said the dragon while lowering his head. He was submitting to Yen Di, for his child. "Let me ask you one last thing. Without the seal, your blood could disperse and then you'd disappear. Can you put all your blood in his and make your blood and his fuse together, as well as all your strength? That way you'll also be in his blood and you'll even be able to protect your child forever," Yen Di said in a solemn and respectful way. Lin Feng was on the sideline here, but was receiving all the benefits. At least the dragon didn't want to kill him anymore. Lin Feng admired Yen Di. He was audacious, brave and strong. Yen Di really looked like an emperor at that moment. "He's a great emperor after all, I must remember to be nice to him in the future," thought Lin Feng. If Yen Di had heard Lin Feng's thoughts, he would have slapped him. "That's also a way of showing your gratitude. Lin Feng will remember that forever and take good care of your child," continued Yen Di. The dragon nodded and bowed in front of Yen Di. "Take care of my child." "Thank you." Then, he looked at Lin Feng, roared, and in a flash, all his blood started flowing into Lin Feng's body. Roar! His roar sounded a bit sad. The illusion slowly disappeared as it penetrated into his body. Lin Feng started shaking violently again. "Cherish my child," said a voice in Lin Feng's head. The sensation was completely different this time. His blood felt like it was changing. The dragon blood and strength penetrated into Lin Feng's body. He was helping Lin Feng assimilate his blood. His blood was becoming Lin Feng's blood. Boom boom. The palace was already destroyed. That small room seemed like it was going to collapse as well. "They're here." Qiong Qi and Lin Feng glanced at each other. The dragon had roared so loudly that it drew people's attention to them. They hadn't come earlier because they were trying to take the heart. Lin Feng and Qiong Qi didn't know if they had managed to take it or not by now. Qi opened his mouth and spat out fire. Lin Feng was suddenly surrounded by flames. Qiong Qi was masking the dragon Qi around him. "Hurry up and get to the surface. Wait for me there, I'll clean the room in the meantime," said Qiong Qi. Lin Feng nodded and rose up in the air. Xiong-Chi continued spitting out fire everywhere to clean the room, removing any evidence of dragon energies. Even if someone found the room, they wouldn't be able to tell what there was before. Boom boom boom. Lin Feng took back his demon seal stone. His blood was still boiling, but it was properly covered up with the fire. Then, Xiong-Chi came out too. They mingled in with the crowd again. There were many Tian-level cultivators in the room now. They had come in afterwards. They looked at Lin Feng and Xiong-Chi unhappily. The heart was still shaking violently. No wonder nobody had paid attention to what was happening underground. The water and the dragon shadow had also disappeared. It was no wonder that it had attracted so many people. Nobody could take the heart though, only Zun cultivators could try taking it. "What did you steal? Show it," said one of them coldly. "If you want to steal our treasures, come and fight us. We're at the bottom of the Tian-Chi layer. But, we only fell into that room when the room collapsed. What could we get with our cultivation level?" said Xiong-Chi pointing at the ruins around. However, those people smiled coldly. If those two couldn't get treasures, why would they have come out then? "We all heard the dragon chant and you're telling us you didn't get anything. Who would believe you?" said those people with cold smiles. "That came from the dragon scales. If you don't believe us, go and see for yourself. Authentic dragon chants and scales can kill people, we would never get near," said Xiong-Chi pointing to some dragon scales. "I'll go and see." At that moment, someone's silhouette flickered. That person moved to the dragon scales, put some stones away and grabbed it. Roar, a terrifying dragon roar spread in the air. In a flash, that person was dead. Everybody was speechless as they looked back at Xiong-Chi. "I told you that those dragon scales could kill people instantly. I didn't try to fool you. If you're too greedy, go and take a risk," said Xiong-Chi. Lin Feng was calmly standing there. He had to pretend to be calm even though his blood was boiling. If he showed that he wasn't feeling normal, people would guess he obtained something. They all stared at Xiong-Chi. He did warn them that touching those scales could kill people. "We believe you for now," said someone. He moved towards the scale. That was annoying, there were treasures, but they couldn't take them. Then, they all left but a middle-aged man. He looked at Lin Feng and Xiong-Chi coldly. "What's wrong?" asked Xiong-Chi. "If I kill you both, I'll know for sure if you got treasures or not," said the cultivator with a cold smile. Without saying anything, he threw himself at Lin Feng. "You want to die?" shouted Xiong-Chi furiously. His red hair fluttered in the wind as he released fire energy. The cultivator's facial expression changed drastically. He suddenly turned around, but it was too late, he was already surrounded by fire. "Ah!" He gave a horrible shriek and suddenly looked terrified. That fire was burning him alive. In a flash, he turned into ashes. Xiong-Chi stopped next to Lin Feng and said, "Hurry up, you obtained such great treasures, and I still need to protect you." Lin Feng remained speechless. What was happening to him right now wasn't his fault after all. Chapter 994, Mu Chen, you're really strong. "That guy had broken through to the 5th Tian-Chi layer and you killed him in less than a second," said Lin Feng smiling. "Of course I did. I'm an emperor," said Xiong-Chi proudly. "Alright, you'll fight from now on," said Lin Feng. Xiong-Chi rarely fought after all. Dream on. "Back when, I was an ordinary cultivator. Only after I fought a lot and became an imperial cultivator did I become a great emperor, a Zun emperor. You and I are different. You've only broken through to the 2nd Tian-Chi layer. You can't afford to act lazily. You need to fight and suffer to become a Zun cultivator," Xiong-Chi explained. Xiong-Chi then thought, "I still need to improve my fire, I can't waste energy." "You're not nice," said Lin Feng. Xiong-Chi used to be a great emperor, then he had lost his power and had taken Qiong Qi's body. He was even aggressive and impatient. Later, Lin Feng had helped him obtain the void fire, and now Lin Feng couldn't even see how strong he was anymore. If he helped him anymore, Qiong Qi would become too strong. Roar! Lin Feng and Qiong Qi raised their heads. The dragon heart was dazzling. Many dragon shadows appeared and started roaring. They suddenly surrounded all those Zun cultivators. No wonder that dragons are the emperors of the animal world. They're so strong, sighed Lin Feng. 2 cultivators were trying to steal the heart, but the dragon shadows swallowed them and killed them. That heart contains authentic dragon strength. The dragon heart you swallowed belonged to a newborn baby, luckily. It didn't contain much dragon strength, otherwise, you'd have died on the spot, said Qiong Qi to Lin Feng using telepathy. Do I really have to raise the dragon baby now? Whispered Lin Feng. I personally promised that to the dragon. In the future, you'll have a dragon pet for yourself. That's not bad, said Qiong Qi smiling. Lin Feng understood. With the dragon, both would become much stronger. Yen Di might even become an animal emperor with the help of a dragon. Lin Feng sometimes didn't understand some of the logic behind some events. What would it feel like to raise a dragon though? Was it the same feeling as being pregnant? I swallowed your blood and you made your blood fuse together with mine, dragon. I must remain faithful, thought Lin Feng. That was a fact. The dragon heart is going to become weaker and weaker. They'll manage to take it sooner or later, but it is already not so useful anymore. What a bunch of idiots, thought Qiong Qi watching the crowd. At that moment, there were even more people surrounding the heart. They wanted to steal the dragon heart. Xian Yuan, Yang Zhan and the one in black clothes. The one in black clothes seemed particularly interested in the dragon heart. He was ready to risk his life for it even. He was a beast after all, that dragon heart could be extremely useful to him. I know what kind of beast he is, said Qiong Qi while staring at the man in black clothes. At that moment, he had gigantic black wings emitting thunderous sounds which contained a terrifying strength. What kind? Asked Lin Feng. He had the wings of a gigantic rock and thunderous energies. Lin Feng had never seen such an animal. Mixed breed, lightning vulture and great rock. He's a lightning rock. He's extremely strong and fast. It's a rare race to encounter, whispered Qiong Qi. Lin Feng calmly listened. He had never heard of such animals. There were many breeds in the animal world and Lin Feng wasn't familiar with zoology in the slightest. Lin Feng came from Xueyu, but there weren't even that many Tian-level beasts there. If we give that dragon heart to our teachers, they'll probably be very happy, said someone indifferently. He hadn't arrived yet, but the people who were there could hear him. The crowd glanced around to see who that person was. Was he insane? Giving the heart to his teachers. They had been there for such a long time, trying to get the dragon heart. That would be a great gift for our teachers. You precisely wanted to offer a gift to our teachers, said someone else. The ones who had been trying to get the heart for a long time were getting angry. Come out and talk, shouted Xian Yuan furiously, making the atmosphere shake. 3 silhouettes appeared from above. When the crowd saw those people, they immediately calmed down. Those people looked extraordinary. Xian Yuan frowned when he saw them. The leader of the group was wearing a simple yet very clean white robe. He wasn't releasing any qi either, but he seemed special. The second person was wearing a simple silver robe and had a sword in his back. He was handsome and looked indifferent. The last one had a black robe and he looked both powerful and majestic. Lin Feng actually recognized him. Xian Yuanshi's little boy, you're very proud, said the leader in white clothes with a smile. Shut up, who are you, said Xian Yuan coldly. Those people were calling him little boy, how disrespectful. Even if they were strong, they still had to show respect. Mu Chen, like wood and dust. said the one in white clothes with a smile. Everybody was scared, Mu Chen. Many people had heard that name. In the past, few people had ever heard that name or seen him, but recently, more people were hearing about him because of the Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's first recruitment session. Many people were researching about Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's very own disciples. The most famous one was Qin Lin. He was Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's second disciple. He could use reincarnation spells which were incredible to behold, so many people remembered him. According to rumors, Mu Chen was Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's first disciple. Mu Chen, the crowd was shivering. So his teachers were Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu. Silver clothes, handsome, that's Ho Qin Lin. The crowd looked at the second one and suddenly remembered that name. He was indubitably Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's second disciple, Ho Qin Lin. Oh, I see. Fellow disciples, hello, said Xian Yuan a bit baffled. Then, he smiled nicely and politely. Little boy, we're not your fellow disciples, said Mu Chen with a smile. Xian Yuan already considered himself as an imperial cultivation disciple. But Mu Chen wasn't of the same opinion. Xian Yuan was getting a little ticked off. Chapter 995, Xian Yuan feels humiliated. For many people, it was a sure thing that Xian Yuan was going to become Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's imperial cultivation disciple, but actually, he was applying in hopes of becoming the first imperial cultivation disciple of the Tian Qi layer. Xian Yuan, by considering himself as an imperial cultivation disciple, was acting very confidently. Calling Mu Chen a fellow disciple was disrespectful. Mu Chen didn't appreciate it and contradicted him immediately. Xian Yuan smiled coldly inside. Mu Chen looked at Ho Qin Lin and said, "Brother, since they can't take the heart, you can take it." It would, indeed, be a great gift for the teachers, especially after all the efforts they're making to organize the recruitment process. Even if they don't like it, they'll be happy because it comes from you. All right, said Ho Qin Lin nodding. He jumped to the heart. That heart contained an incredible strength. Mu Chen followed Ho Qin Lin. They weren't ordinary cultivators, they were Emperor Yu and Emperor Shi's own disciples. They had a very high social status and were very gifted. Even the leaders of the biggest sects and clans respected them. Even without talking about their social status, they were very strong indeed. If they wanted to take the heart, nobody could compete with them here. They released qi which slowly moved towards the heart. Ho Qin Lin looked calm as if the heart's energies didn't affect him. We found that heart first, do you think you can simply take it, said Xian Yuan to Ho Qin Lin. The others had the same thought, but weren't actually going to say anything. Nobody talked, but Xian Yuan. Ho Qin Lin glanced at Xian Yuan indifferently and said, I never said you couldn't take it. Come and take it from me if you have balls to back up that mouth of yours. Ho Qin Lin sounded very calm. Xian Yuan pulled a long face. Usually, people never talked to him that way, he was the one who talked to others like that. Did he have the balls? Ho Qin Lin sounded calm, detached and indifferent. If Xian Yuan dared attack, what would Ho Qin Lin do? Nobody wanted to imagine the scene. In terms of strength, Xian Yuan was infinitely weaker than Ho Qin Lin. In terms of social status, Ho Qin Lin was a real and genuine imperial disciple, Xian Yuan just had imperial blood. Everybody remained quiet, the atmosphere became very calm. Xian Yuan always relied on his social status and strength to humiliate others, but now he couldn't do much. Awesome, thought Lin Feng, standing on the ruins. He had a huge smile. Ho Qin Lin was truly amazing. He had helped him in the past and now he was humiliating someone he didn't like, how perfect was that? In the Dragon Palace, Xian Yuan had humiliated Lin Feng. Now, his karma was playing him, Ho Qin Lin had arrived. What is awesome? It would be awesome if you were Ho Qin Lin. Xian Yuan despises you and even humiliated you. I hope someday you can act like Qin Lin," said Qin Lin, indifferently, making Lin Feng come back to his senses. His heart was filled with ardor and hope. Xiong Qi was right though, Lin Feng had to become stronger and someday he'd be able to shame arrogant people the same way Ho Qin Lin just did. "I told you last time, that guy is a real genius. Xian Yuan has imperial blood, but nothing more," said Xiong Qi. He looked over at Lin Feng and continued, "Little boy, when will you become strong and act like them? Too bad that you're not that strong yet. Telling you these things is useless it seems." Lin Feng smiled wryly. "Indeed, what a pity." Lin Feng raised his head, his blood was filled with ardor, hope, determination. "Someday, you will see. I will be stronger than them. I will despise people who have despised me, who have humiliated me. I will become incredibly strong," whispered Lin Feng. His blood was flowing with incredible strength now, especially since he had swallowed the dragon blood. Nobody knew what had just happened to him and nobody could know how he felt. The dragon blood had become his own power. Xiong Qi smiled and said, "I hope I won't have to wait too long to witness that change." At that moment, Ho Qin Lin jumped to the heart and grabbed it. A strength appeared and enveloped the heart. Boom, the heart shone brightly, dragon roars invaded the atmosphere. In a flash, lights with reincarnation energy appeared and enveloped the heart. Reincarnation strength, the crowd was amazed. Ho Qin Lin didn't need to use his sword, he could easily use reincarnation energies to take the heart. Bzzz. The atmosphere was filled with reincarnation energies right now. He jumped up and opened his hand, there were reincarnation energies radiating from his palm and the heart was sitting there. It looked like an ordinary crystal. It was difficult to imagine that just before, so many strong cultivators had tried to take the heart and died trying. There was a huge difference between them and Ho Qin Lin. How strong, thought Lin Feng, gasping with amazement. It was the second time that he saw Ho Qin Lin, and just like the first time, it was amazing. "I told you he's a genius. To him, a dragon heart is nothing exceptional. He will definitely become an emperor, maybe even a great emperor. After you become an imperial cultivation disciple, you'll be Mu Chen and Ho Qin Lin's fellow disciple. Be friends with them and learn from them," said Xiong Qi. Lin Feng nodded. Mu Chen and Ho Qin Lin seemed very strong, but also reasonable. Lin Feng would probably become their fellow disciple soon. At that moment, Ho Qin Lin lowered his head and looked at Xian Yuan, "You're weak, you might be talented, but nobody really cares about you." Chapter 996, Chaste, So What? Xian Yuan was furious and looked very upset. Xian Yuan was humiliated twice in the same day. Ho Qin Lin was openly making fun of him. Xian Yuan had imperial blood and he was proud of it. There were many people who admired him. Ho Qin Lin turned around and looked at Mu Chen, "Brother, let's go." "All right," said Mu Chen with a smile. Then, the three left as quickly as they came. The crowd sighed. "I am afraid of Xian Yuan, but they aren't. They're domineering, majestic, imposing, strong, proud. If someday I become Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's disciple, I'll despise people like Xian Yuan just like them," thought several people from the crowd. They were impatient to become imperial cultivation disciples and receive Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's teachings. At that moment, everybody was even more determined to become an imperial cultivation disciple. Xian Yuan looked at Mu Chen and the others leaving. He thought, "Someday, I will trample you. I will become the emperor's most dangerous weapon." But until then, he had to rank first amongst Tian-level candidates, then he had to break through to the Zun Qi layer. Then, he could trample them. He turned around and glanced at the crowd. The dragon had chanted, the crows had cawed, a dragon palace had appeared and in the end, Xian Yuan had obtained nothing. His all-embracing power weapon was even broken. "Who plotted against me?" said Xian Yuan furiously. Surprisingly, someone had used a skill against him in the Dragon Palace, causing his all-embracing power weapon to break. Then, he had lost control of the dragon heart. What a tragedy! He had lost a precious weapon and he lost the dragon heart. Now he was furious. Other people had even taken the heart as he sat there and watched. Nobody replied to Xian Yuan though. The cultivator in black clothes stepped on the ruins and looked at Lin Feng and Xiong Qi. Then, he ran to the dragon scales. He hadn't obtained the heart, but at least he could get some dragon scales. Does he know it was me? Thought Lin Feng when the guy looked at him. He had observed him in the Dragon Palace as well. Maybe that cultivator in the black clothes had used his empty space bestial illusion technique to watch Lin Feng after sensing another bestial qi. Bzzz, bzzz, some people left, some people came back to the ruins. Xian Yuan turned around and looked at the ruins. He glanced at Lin Feng too, but for less than a second, Lin Feng was just an ant after all. Little boy, are you good to leave now? Said Xiong Qi using telepathy. They had been there for a long time now. Almost, whispered Lin Feng. The blood was still fusing with his. If the dragon hadn't helped him, he wouldn't have been able to swallow everything, let alone with this speed. We should go now. There are bestial marks in the ruins and people could find something in the small room that we opened, said Xiong Qi. Lin Feng nodded. He knew those things, of course. I'm not worried anyways, you're here to protect me after all, whispered Lin Feng. Are you sure? Said Xiong Qi. Lin Feng said nothing. He just stared back at Xiong Qi. I'm so weak, how could I protect you? Haha. If I don't tell you such things, will you actually take risks? Said Xiong Qi laughing. Lin Feng remained speechless. Xiong Qi had to be joking, right? All right. I'm good, said Lin Feng. He took a deep breath and said to Xiong Qi, let's go. Avoiding the others, they left. Two cultivators at the bottom of the Tian Qi layer, strong cultivators would want to attack them and steal their treasures if they could. Above the water surrounding the ruins of the towers, someone was observing Lin Feng. He and a few others had followed Lin Feng. Above the water, there were still many strong cultivators and they were all leaving one after the other. There was nothing interesting left in the ruins. Many people had died and so on. Was Ho Qinglin the only one who obtained great treasures? Boom! At that moment, an explosion sounded. Xian Yuan was standing in the air, his hair was fluttering, and his facial expression looked ice cold. He just made the ground explode and found a small room under the rubble. An underground room, precisely where the claws of the dragons were guarding. Apart from that room, there were marks written all over the ground. The crowd looked at him. Xian Yuan had just discovered a secret room with marks all around it. Was there anything in that room? Those who had entered the palace at the very beginning with Xian Yuan all looked furious. While they were taking huge risks to take the heart, someone had secretly been stealing precious treasures. When they thought about the consecutive dragon chants, they only now understood that they were coming from inside that room. Nobody knew about what was inside, even the qi had been hidden. It's him. The two cultivators of the bottom of the Tian Qi layer, thought the crowd suddenly. Only two people had stayed in the back the whole time. Those two were despicable insects, so nobody paid any attention to them. Xian Yuan looked at Lin Feng who was already very, very far away in the horizon and rose up in the air. He then turned into a beam of light and chased Lin Feng. He had to catch up with him. Lin Feng was moving with incredible speed towards a mountain at that moment. Lin Feng knew that he was being chased at that point. When he found out that people were chasing him, he smiled coldly. The people who were chasing him stopped. The leader was a young man whose qi was extraordinary. He looked about as angry as could be. You cause troubles everywhere you go, even in Ba Huang province, said the young man. Lin Feng smiled and said, Prince Tian Lin, it's so good to see you. Chapter 997, Killing Tian Lin. Surprisingly, you're laughing, said Prince Tian Lin, who was laughing as well. He laughed in a very strange way though. What could Lin Feng do to him in Ba Huang province? 4th Tian Chi layer. Lin Feng inspected Prince Tian Lin's cultivation level. Last time he had seen him, he had the strength of the 3rd Tian Chi layer. The other cultivators who were with him had broken through to the 4th Tian Chi layer as well. Without your deployment spells and without Ho Qing Lin, what can you do? Said Prince Tian Lin coldly. Now that Prince Tian Lin had broken through to the 4th Tian Chi layer and they were in Ba Huang province, Lin Feng didn't stand a chance. You forgot that back when Ho Qing Lin and Yu Xiao hadn't arrived yet, you attacked me, but in the end, you were the one left hurt. You lost to me and used Yu Xiao to save you. It seems like you have forgotten how we ended things, said Lin Feng with a mocking tone. Prince Tian Lin looked at his friends ashamed. Lin Feng had injured him. You have a glib tongue. This time, I will slaughter you, said Prince Tian Lin while throwing himself at Lin Feng. Roar, roar, without hesitating, Prince Tian Lin threw himself at Lin Feng and released his wind spirit. His spirit was even more powerful than the last time Lin Feng had seen him. Die, shouted Prince Tian Lin furiously. A terrifying strength surrounded Lin Feng. People like you can only rely on the blood strength from their ancestors. You seemingly only know how to release your spirit. Without your spirit, you'd be even worse than trash, said Lin Feng in a despising way. He slowly rose up in the air and looked down on Prince Tian Lin. Back then, at the Great Sect meeting, I was wearing a mask. You came to Ganyu as an imperial cultivation disciple and thought everybody admired you. If you weren't an imperial cultivation disciple and didn't possess a strong spirit, I would have killed you in the blink of an eye, said Lin Feng while releasing terrifying energies. I will teach you something today. Being an imperial cultivation disciple makes you proud, but it alone is not enough. Lin Feng sensed the new blood flowing in his body. He was so much stronger. It felt like an ocean was flowing through his veins. The others looked at him surprised. Prince Tian Lin's wind brushed against Lin Feng, but he realized that Lin Feng was surrounded by some kind of strength. The wind wasn't even affecting him. Prince Tian Lin pulled a long face. Lin Feng now had a powerful blood strength. How come? Don't think that I can't kill you, said Prince Tian Lin. At the same time, he released his own blood strength. The atmosphere was assaulted by whistling hurricanes and dust flew around. The wind was as sharp as a blade's edge. Die, shouted Prince Tian Lin. Black lights appeared and a terrifying sealing strength rolled in the air. Lin Feng condensed some strength in his hand. It was as if the force of the earth and sky. Lin Feng moved his blood strength towards the palm of his hand. That sensation made him feel even more confident and stronger. Prince Tian Lin's facial expression looked worse and worse. His wind spirit was strong, but when he sensed Lin Feng's strength, he didn't know what to do. How had Lin Feng become so strong? He was so much stronger than last time. You're pathetic. Poor you, said Lin Feng when he saw that Prince Tian Lin's facial expression had changed drastically. He then added, coldly, I was hiding my strength last time. If I hadn't, I could have killed you instantly. You're much, much weaker than Chou Jun Luo, said Lin Feng. Finally, he was attacking. Boom boom. An incredible amount of strength and force streaked across the sky. Those energies surrounded the wind spirit and suppressed them with sealing strength. Boom. A loud sound spread in the air and Prince Tian Lin groaned with pain. His face turned deathly pale. His spirit was propelled away by Lin Feng and a sealing strength had even constricted it. Imperial cultivation disciple, ridiculous, said Lin Feng coldly. He then walked towards Prince Tian Lin. Prince Tian Lin was scared. He couldn't beat Lin Feng. Kill him, shouted Prince Tian Lin furiously while running back. His friends immediately released their own spirits. "Just stop and make things easier for the both of us," said someone to Lin Feng. Lin Feng glanced at him and continued running towards Prince Tianlin while saying, "You can't kill me, so you're asking me to back down? How ridiculous is that?" "Since that's what you think, die," said one of the bodyguards. 5 cultivators threw themselves at Lin Feng at the same time. Roar! Lin Feng opened his mouth and released a demonic chi. A demon shadow appeared along with whistling energies. An explosion sounded as the demon energy crashed into the group of people. Kaboom! The earth and the sky were shaking as well as those people. They immediately fell down from the sky and crashed onto the ground, dead. All those people were dead. Prince Tianlin looked at them, his heart was twitching, he looked scared yet dumbstruck, he couldn't believe his eyes. Demonic energies. "That was you on that day," said Prince Tianlin. The one who had stolen the void fire was Lin Feng, disguised as a demon. "Indeed. If I didn't need to stay incognito, I would have killed you easily, just by slapping you," said Lin Feng while condensing demonic energies in his palm. Prince Tianlin was horrified as he ran backwards. He wanted to escape. Lin Feng was playing with him, he was moving his hand around as if he were dancing. Demonic energies had condensed at this point. "Assassin spell," said Lin Feng. The demon energies suddenly stabbed Prince Tianlin. He couldn't even see them coming. His corpse fell down from the sky, dead as well. Chapter 998, Degenerate. Lin Feng looked at Prince Tianlin's expressionless corpse. Then, he turned around and walked into the desolate mountains. "Buddy, I need to practice cultivation somewhere for a few days," said Lin Feng to Qiong Qi. "I know, you need to understand your new blood strength," said Qiong Qi. They arrived somewhere uninhabited and found a cave. Lin Feng activated his consciousness and found that it was larger than before. There were golden colors mixed into the blood-red colors. He found a heart in his blood strength, it was a baby dragon. It had a powerful chi and the vitality of a newborn. The dragon fused its blood together with his, but it hadn't spread everywhere in Lin Feng's body yet. Lin Feng took this time to make the blood flow faster. There used to be no sound when Lin Feng circulated his blood, but now, it emitted loud sounds. Lin Feng could sense how strong his new blood was. Loud roaring sounds echoed in the cave. 2 days later, Lin Feng's entire body was surrounded by golden lights. The sounds he emitted when cultivating were even louder. They even echoed out into the valley outside of the cave. A silhouette was approaching from the sky at that moment. It was a woman in snowy white clothes. She had a veil covering her face, but it was hard to look the other way, she had an incredible body. Lin Feng's blood chi dashing to the skies and emitting roaring sounds made the woman stop. She gazed into the distance, dazzled. What was that sound? It sounded like a tsunami. Roar! A dragon chant spread and echoed across the valley. The woman was surprised. Was there a dragon in the valley? Was a dragon practicing cultivation in the valley? She heard that in Black Crow Village, a dragon palace had appeared and that many strong cultivators had gone there to find a dragon heart, but that in the end, Ho Qing Lin took it. How come she could now hear a dragon chant in the valley? Besides, it was very intense. She ran in the direction of the roar, but then the dragon chant stopped. She was surprised, excited and curious. Her silhouette flickered and she arrived near the entrance of a cave. That was where she heard the dragon chant come from. There were 2 silhouettes outside of the cave. A human being and a Tian-level beast. The young man looked handsome but ordinary. He had only broken through to the 3rd Tian Chi layer. Nothing spectacular. The beast with him was astonishing though. It was an ancient beast. She couldn't take her eyes off of it. "Did you hear a dragon chant?" asked the woman gently to Lin Feng. "I heard it. I came here because of it, but I didn't see anything, replied Lin Feng with an indifferent smile. He hadn't thought that breaking through to the third Tian Qi layer would cause his blood to emit a dragon chant. Fortunately, nobody had found him while he was still practicing cultivation in the cave, otherwise people might guess what was going on. The girl frowned and looked at him. She couldn't have been wrong, but she was scouting the cave with her consciousness and there was nothing inside, just like Lin Feng had said. She couldn't think that it was Lin Feng either. After all, she had heard an actual dragon. She shook her head slowly and turned around to leave. We should go too, thought Lin Feng as a boat appeared next to him. If he didn't use it, he would be late. The girl sensed the boat and looked at Lin Feng. She was surprised. She went back to him and asked, "Are you the one who stole the Yang's boat in Tianyuan City and asked them for 1,000 abstruse crystals?" Lin Feng frowned. He didn't expect a random person he encountered in the mountains to have heard about that already. That boat was broken at first. I fixed it with special tools and Yang Ziyi agreed to give it to me. I didn't steal anything, said Lin Feng annoyed. Sorry, I didn't express myself properly, said the girl with a smile. You're quite strong, you defeated Chou Jun Luo even though you have only broken through to the third Tian Qi layer. Not bad, said the girl interested. She smiled and said, can you take me on your boat? I don't have anything to go faster. She was wrong again. Lin Feng had broken through to the second Tian Qi layer when he had fought Chou Jun Luo. He had just now broken through to the third Tian Qi layer in the cave. Are we going to the same place? Said Lin Feng. I don't think I'm wrong. We're both going to Tiantai, said the girl gently. Lin Feng nodded. As expected, many people were going to Tiantai to become Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's imperial cultivation disciples. No problem, you can come with me. I just hope that you're not like Yang Ziyi. I rescued her from the Huang Sea and when we arrived in Tianyuan, she humiliated me and pretended I was interested in her. How could you compare me to her? Said the girl shaking her head. Don't worry. Nothing like that will happen with me. All right then. Come on, said Lin Feng. The boat was quite big. One more person wasn't a problem, especially a beautiful woman like her. According to her behavior, Lin Feng felt like she didn't really like Yang Ziyi. Her qi and cultivation weren't bad either. Her social status probably was extraordinary. What's your name? Asked the girl to Lin Feng with a smile. You should at least show me your face if you want to know my name, said Lin Feng laughing and looking at the landscapes around. You're a proud person, said the girl giggling. She took off her veil. She was extremely beautiful. Beautiful cheeks, beautiful eyes, beautiful skin. Lin Feng stretched out his hand and touched her cheeks, very gently. However, the girl wasn't happy at all and released an ice-cold qi. Degenerate. She immediately slapped Lin Feng. Surprisingly, that guy actually touched Ether. Did he want to die? Lin Feng came back to his senses and stepped back. Chapter 999, Tiantai. Lin Feng suddenly stood up and released some demon sealing strength. The girl released even more qi, she was close to Lin Feng now. Wait, said Lin Feng grabbing her hand and preventing her from moving. She coldly looked at him and said, no wonder the Yang clan humiliated you. You're a degenerate. Can you listen to me first, please? I can explain, said Lin Feng. He knew that he had made a mistake. But he couldn't help it, they were so similar. Almost the same, like twins. Her qi was different, otherwise, Lin Feng wouldn't have come back to his senses. Explain, said the girl with a cold smile. You have an explanation for such odious acts. Indeed, I do. You look like my wife, said Lin Feng. That girl looks like Xinyi. It's just that their qi is different. That's why Lin Feng had felt so strange. Don't you have a better excuse, said the girl. She didn't believe him. You can ask my friend, said Lin Feng, pointing to Cheong Chi. Cheong Chi looked at the girl with twinkling eyes. He was aroused too. He said, indeed, the very same. Apart from the chi, you could be twins. You think I'll believe you, said the girl, frowning. She still didn't believe Lin Feng. I can prove it to you. Look, shouted Lin Feng furiously. When she saw that Lin Feng was shouting, she shouted even louder and said, how? Stop using your chi and I will show you, said Lin Feng. The girl begrudgingly stopped using her chi. Lin Feng shook his hand and the snowy tower appeared, then the great rock appeared. The great rock looked at Lin Feng and then looked at Duan Xinyi. He was very surprised. He looked happy too. Obviously, he thought that was Xinyi too. Miss, you also came to Ba Huang province, said the great rock in a low voice. Lin Feng looked at the great rock and said, she's not Xinyi. I promised you I'd stop putting you in the animal tower, but sometimes I have to because it's better to hide you. Lin Feng looked at the girl and said, do you believe me now? The girl's eyes twinkled. She was still angry, but she believed him. The great rock didn't know what had just happened, but he also thought that she was somebody else. But you touched me indecently, said the girl coldly. You should marry him too, he's very responsible, said Cheong Chi impolitely. Lin Feng looked at him and said, you shut up. He was going to cause trouble. The girl was very strong and Lin Feng couldn't defeat her. Little boy, that girl is really nice, trust me, she could be a great wife. It only benefits you that she looks like Xinyi. Back then, I had so many women too, said Cheong Chi using telepathy. Lin Feng sighed. It wasn't on purpose. If you want anything, please feel free to ask me, said Lin Feng. The girl looked at him, remained silent for a few seconds and laughed. All right, let's forget about it. You still haven't told me your name, said the girl. Lin Feng, and you? Replied Lin Feng naturally while putting the great rock away. Xiao Yu Xian, said the girl smiling. She looked like she was a completely different person when she was happy from when she was angry. Lin Feng was sitting next to her and looking at her. He still couldn't tell her and Xinyi apart. Their chi was different though. I look like your wife that much? Asked Xiao Yu Xian while giggling. Only your chi is different, otherwise, you'd be twins. Well, could you be interested in me then? Said Xiao Yu Xian with a gentle smile. Lin Feng gulped down. Of course he would. He had to chase that thought out of his mind. He was trying to convince himself that it was a fake copy. If I face dangers, will you help me? Asked Xiao Yu Xian. Same smile, same voice, different chi. Many men were probably crazy about her. Actually, she was even better than Xinyi in some ways. Maybe, sighed Lin Feng gazing into the distance. All this made him think about Xueyu and Xinyi and his parents. Lin Feng wanted to be next to Xinyi, but the world was too big and he needed to become stronger. He had to face many dangers and go through hardships to become stronger. The boat stopped 3 days later when they arrived in Tiantai. There were strong cultivators all around. There were many geniuses in Ba Huang province and most of them wanted to become Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's imperial cultivation disciples. Apart from the candidates, there were also many people who wanted to watch. Of course, there were many people who were accompanying their children. Tiantai wasn't a town. It was the biggest moat in Tianjin city. It was a symbol, a geographical symbol, a social symbol. According to rumors, Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu lived there. According to legends, there were 18,000 steps to get to Tiantai. At that moment, a boat streaked across the sky and stopped above Tiantai. Then, it landed, slowly. That's incredible, imperial strength, said Xiao Yu Xian looking at Tiantai. She could sense the incredible chi. The recruitment process had attracted so many people. Lin Feng put the boat away. Qiu Yuxian and he were similar, they both enjoyed the beautiful things of life, like the landscape sitting in front of them now. 18,000 steps, leading to the sky. That's how you get to Tiantai. It looked like an ancient town and it possessed a strange illusion like qi around it. No matter where they went, to their left, on their right, behind and before, it was always an illusion. The steps even looked like an illusion. Yen Di, what's that? What do emperors use to cast such spells? Asked Lin Feng. Yen Di raised his head and remained silent for a long time. He didn't reply to Lin Feng either. Back then, he was an emperor, now that he was looking at an emperor's work, he was feeling sad again. Practice as hard as you can and someday I'll tell you. Step by step, said Qiong Qi after a very long time. Lin Feng was speechless. Chapter 1000, Celestial Steps. There were some people trying to get up the stairs, but they were very slow. Those stairs contain a very intense energy. Going up them is the only way to access Tiantai, said Qiu Yuxian while smiling at Lin Feng. Alright, said Lin Feng nodding. He then started walking up the stairs. But very quickly, a strange strength oppressed him. Qiu Yuxian looked at Lin Feng who smiled and said, that flight of stairs can sense my qi. It seems to sense if we're strong or weak. It's difficult to control those stairs. Controlling that kind of incredible invention was difficult. Let's try to get up, said Qiu Yuxian laughing. She then tried to walk up the stairs as well and reached the second step. Then, she started running, she was running with incredible speed. Lin Feng did the same. As expected, the oppressive strength was intensifying with each step they took. Lin Feng, you're too slow. There are 18,000 stairs in total. If we manage to get up, that will be our first test to becoming imperial cultivation disciples. With your speed, you'll need millions of years to arrive, said Qiu Yuxian jokingly. She wasn't as cold as when he had touched her before. She was fun and enjoyable. Alright, said Lin Feng smiling. Her smile was warm and gentle, just like Xian Ye's. Lin Feng remembered Xian Yi back then in the palace. Bzzz. Lin Feng used wind energy and started moving extremely fast. It seemed like he was flying but in fact his feet were touching every single step. In a flash, he ran up 300 steps. However, 300 out of 18,000 wasn't much, especially given that the force was becoming even more oppressive. 18,000, that was a frightening number. Becoming an imperial cultivation disciple wasn't easy. Lin Feng, hurry up, said Qiu Yuxian and while smiling indifferently. Lin Feng used wind intent. His wind intent was already level 6 now. Even those who had a higher intent level weren't as fast as him because he had also mastered the Xiaoyao agility technique. He was faster than most cultivators of the 5th Tian Qi layer. In a flash, 1,000 more steps. 1,000 steps, I'm so tired, said Qiu Yuxian. She looked at Lin Feng, smiled and said, not bad, level 6 wind intent. Should we continue playing, said Qiu Yuxian while smiling. You play and I'll watch, said Lin Feng giggling. Qiu Yuxian frowned and stopped smiling. She suddenly looked cold and detached, the same as when he had first met her. Let's continue. We don't know how much more we'll have to do before the exam, said Qiu Yuxian. Then, she continued running up the stairs. She didn't stop this time and didn't turn around to look at Lin Feng. Lin Feng frowned and didn't understand what was wrong with her. Was she suffering from mood swings? However, Lin Feng remembered each second she had smiled, her smile was unforgettable. 3,000 steps. Qiu Yuxian stopped again and took a deep breath. She was feeling the weight now. The oppressive force was getting quite heavy. Lin Feng stopped next to her. He was still smiling and was feeling relaxed. Bzzz. A strong wind started blowing and Lin Feng's clothes were torn. Qiu Yuxian started running even faster than before and didn't stop for a while this time. "Who is she?" whispered Lin Feng looking at Qiu Yuxian. She was very beautiful. They couldn't be the same, they couldn't even be sisters, but then, why did he have the feeling he knew her? They had known each other for such a short time. Her smile was so. Well, it gave Lin Feng an unusual feeling. Lin Feng didn't think too much about it though. He continued running up the stairs using wind intent and following Qiu Yuxian. He was a few dozen steps behind her. "Qiu Yuxian," someone said. The voice came from the sky. Qiu Yuxian and Lin Feng stopped. "What?" said Qiu Yuxian looking at that person coldly. A few people had arrived and looked at Qiu Yuxian. "I'm happy to see you here," said that young man smiling and nodding at Qiu Yuxian. He then looked at Lin Feng and said, "What a coincidence, Brother Lin, you're here too." "What a small world," whispered Lin Feng coldly. It was Yang Zilan. Lin Feng slowly turned his head and looked at the people next to him, Yang Ziyi, Chou Junluo, Jiang Ning. Chou Junluo glared at Lin Feng with murder in his eyes. He had humiliated him and injured him in front of everybody and that was not something he would forgive. Now, Yang Zilan and his friends were there. They weren't surprised to see Lin Feng behind Qiu Yuxian though. "Brother Lin, you're right, it's a small world," said Yang Zilan smiling, but that smile was hypocritical and made Lin Feng feel uncomfortable. Yang Zilan looked at Qiu Yuxian and said, "What a coincidence to see you, Miss Qiu. You should come with us. The more the merrier. And you'll have people to talk with." "I'm not interested," said Qiu Yuxian coldly. Yang Zilan didn't mind. Qiu Yuxian was known for being cold in Ba Huang province. So he expected her to act like that. "We're not bothering you any longer then," said Yang Zilan as he moved away to let her pass. Qiu Yuxian turned around and said to Lin Feng, "Let's continue, Lin Feng." Eh? Yang Zilan was surprised. Did they know each other? Besides, they seemed close and were traveling together. Qiu Yuxian was with a guy. Yang Ziyi, Chou Junluo and the others were all surprised. Qiu Yuxian was known for her beauty. She was an aristocrat too. According to rumors, very few people had seen her face because she rarely came out. And now, surprisingly, she was with Lin Feng. Chapter 1001, I Like Him. Yang Zilan moved back, obstructing their way while saying, "Miss Qiu, he can't go." "Why?" asked Qiu Yuxian coldly. "That guy and I need to settle some issues." "He can't go, I hope you understand," said Yang Zilan in a seemingly polite way. "What if I refuse and want him to stay with me?" said Qiu Yuxian even more coldly. Yang Zilan's smile became rigid. Why was Qiu Yuxian protecting Lin Feng? "As far as I know, you two are not friends," said Yang Zilan coldly. "No, we're more than that, I like him, you have a problem with that," said Qiu Yuxian coldly. Yang Zilan and his group were dumbstruck. The cold-hearted beauty, Qiu Yuxian, liked Lin Feng. They couldn't believe it. Impossible. Why would Qiu Yuxian like someone like Lin Feng? An ordinary cultivator at the bottom of the Tian Qi layer. Qiu Yuxian's social status was very high, many people courted her. Many outstanding men liked her, but she had never shown interest for anyone. She had always enjoyed being alone and solitary. Qiu Yuxian being with a man was already abnormal, but going up the stairs with him and saying she liked him was even worse. Yang Zilan and Chou Junluo couldn't stand hearing such things. Qiu Yuxian said she liked Lin Feng. Lin Feng himself was dumbstruck. She said she liked him in such a normal way. A beautiful girl who looked like Xian Yi was saying that she liked him. Qiu Yuxian, no need to joke to protect him. We know perfectly well that you couldn't possibly like someone like him, said Yang Ziyi coldly. Lin Feng, come here, said Qiu Yuxian. Lin Feng walked closer to her. Suddenly, Qiu Yuxian stretched her hand, grabbed Lin Feng's neck, pulled him towards her and smiled in a resplendent way. Yang Zilan and the others were dumbstruck. Their hearts were pounding violently. Who do you think you are? Yang Ziyi, don't think that you're better than others. Apart from your powerful blood strength, what makes you think you're different from ordinary people, said Qiu Yuxian angrily. Yang Ziyi was dumbstruck. Move away now. Otherwise, we'll have to fight, said Qiu Yuxian while releasing ice-cold energies. Yang Zilan pulled a long face and glanced at Lin Feng, now smiling, Miss Qiu, I don't want to offend you. I'll forgive him this time. Yang Zilan then slowly moved away. Forgive? Lin Feng glanced at him sharply. Those people were incredibly shameless. Lin Feng, I'm not in a good mood anymore. Let's go back, said Qiu Yuxian coldly dragging Lin Feng back. Yang Zilan and the others looked at Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxian leave. They were furious, but they didn't understand, why did Qiu Yuxian like Lin Feng? Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxian ran down the steps very quickly. The oppressive forces were less significant than before. Qiu Yuxian wasn't holding Lin Feng's arm anymore. She was going in one direction and didn't even look back at Lin Feng who was behind her. Lin Feng stopped and looked at her from behind. He felt like he was melting. Little boy, you should go with her. Or don't you dare, mocked Qiong Qi. Mind your own business, said Lin Feng. Then, his silhouette flickered and he followed Qiu Yuxian. There's no need to follow me, said Qiu Yuxian coldly. Lin Feng didn't know how to react, so he decided to continue following her. After that, she didn't tell him not to follow her again. They arrived in a hotel restaurant and ordered some food together. Qiu Yuxian remained silent. Lin Feng remained silent too. He just sat opposite her and said nothing. After a long time, Qiu Yuxian suddenly asked, You said your wife and me look exactly the same? Indeed, nodded Lin Feng. Well then, don't you think that we've known each for a very long time? Asked Qiu Yuxian. Lin Feng's eyes twinkled and asked, Have you always been in Ba Huang province? Indeed, I've never left Ba Huang province, but then again, why do I have the feeling I've known you for a very long time? Asked Qiu Yuxian. Lin Feng was surprised. Know him for a very long time? Qiu Yuxian had that feeling and she looked exactly the same as Xian Yi. I've never been to Ba Huang province before, said Lin Feng with a resplendent smile while shaking his head. It's so strange, maybe that your wife and I have common ancestors, said Qiu Yuxian smiling wryly. She felt confused. The first time she had seen Lin Feng, she had that feeling as well. That's why she asked Lin Feng to take her on his boat. After that, Lin Feng touched her cheek. Before meeting Lin Feng, if anyone had done that to her, she would have killed them instantly. She was very choleric. But with Lin Feng, she hadn't gotten that angry. On the contrary, she had the feeling she knew him. That feeling was also intensifying. She even started to have feelings for him now. Things were moving so sudden that it scared her. She didn't understand what was happening in her heart. Stay with me. Yang Zilan is evil, but if you stay with me, he won't dare touch you, said Qiu Yuxian standing up. Then, they left. In Tianjing City, not far from Tiantai, they found a hotel room in a beautiful courtyard. They had to rest. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's recruitment process was going to start shortly. At night, Qiu Yuxian was sitting on a stone bench. She raised her head and looked at the moon. She was pensive. Why? Why was her heart pounding when she thought about him or just looked at him? At that moment, she heard some steps as someone sat down next to her. She didn't need to turn around though, she knew who it was. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's recruitment process will start in about 2 weeks. You need to practice cultivation. There will be many geniuses and princes. It won't be easy to succeed and become an imperial cultivation disciple. Xiao Yu Xin said in a low voice. She was still looking at the sky. She didn't look at Lin Feng. Lin Feng put his arm on Xiao Yu Xin's shoulder, which made her shiver. She looked at him and smiled. You're not interested in me, right? You don't want me to become your wife? Lin Feng shook his head. You're not her, you are two completely different people. Who's more attractive, me or her? Asked Xiao Yu Xin. You're completely different, two different sorts of attractiveness, that is, replied Lin Feng. Is that so? Said Xiao Yu Xin with a resplendent smile. In the moonlight, she garnished a different level of beauty. What if I said I wanted you to marry me, would you? Suddenly asked Xiao Yu Xin. Lin Feng smiled and said, of course, if you wanted to, I would, but with your social status, how could you be interested in a nobody like me? That's not true. Maybe I really do like you, like I said last time, said Xiao Yu Xin. She was so cute and beautiful. Lin Feng's heart was pounding. Well, even better for me then, said Lin Feng shrugging. Hug me, said Xiao Yu Xin with a captivating smile. Lin Feng shivered. Hug her. Chapter 1002, Come Up. After a few seconds, Lin Feng opened his arms and hugged her. How dare you, shouted Xiao Yu Xin furiously and slapped Lin Feng with all her strength. Lin Feng was speechless as he released demon-sealing strength to block her arms before she could slap him. You asked me to hug you, said Lin Feng annoyed. Because I said that, you believed me? You're so perverted, said Xiao Yu Xin. Lin Feng was speechless. Women are complicated. Fwop. Fwop. Fwop, she released shadow-like fists filled with strong energies. A strong wind blew behind them. After a while, the atmosphere calmed down. 2 people walked into a room. One of them had their clothes torn apart and their hair looked chaotic. That was, of course, Lin Feng. He had fought against Xiao Yu Xin for a long time, but she was much stronger than him. She had broken through to the 7th Tian Qi layer. Lin Feng had had no chance against her. How shameful, said Xiong Qi mockingly. A girl had won against him. What a humiliation. Piss off, said Lin Feng pushing Xiong Qi away. Roar. Lin Feng punched Xiong Qi a few times. Bastard, you actually punched me, said Xiong Qi furiously. He released flames and lit Lin Feng's clothes on fire. Poor Lin Feng. A girl had bullied him and now his pet was bullying him. On the 3rd day in Tianjing City, in the district of Tiantai, many people were talking about Xiao Yu Xin. She had fallen in love with a boy who had only broken through to the 3rd Tian Qi layer and who was a piece of trash without social status. They even held hands when walking outside. Everybody was talking about it. Xiao Yu Xin was famous and her clan was prestigious. She had a high cultivation level, natural abilities, and she was quite strong. Many people tried to flirt with her, but no one had managed to make her smile. However, she had fallen in love with a guy who had just arrived in the province, who was at the bottom of the Tian Qi layer, and who had stolen a boat plus 1,000 abstruse crystals from the Yang clan for saving Yang Ziyi. In other words, he was shameless. What people said, to sum up, was that the great Xiao Yu Xin had fallen in love with a piece of trash. Those who were in love with Xiao Yu Xin wanted to humiliate Lin Feng, maybe she would forget about him then. Of course, those who were the most shocked by the news weren't random people, but Xiao Yu Xin's clan. Yang Ziyi wanted someone like Xian Yuan, he was strong and powerful, he possessed a powerful blood too. Xiao Yu Xin was better than Yang Ziyi, so she should have chosen someone better than Xian Yuan, but no, she hadn't. Chiu Uxian had never liked anyone before, so her clan had always thought that she would find someone outstanding, such as Xian Yuan. Unfortunately, she had fallen in love with some weaker than him. She wasn't as intelligent as Yang Ziyi, it seemed. The Chiu clan was concerned, so they had to find Chiu Uxian. Very quickly, people found out where she was staying in the Tiantai district. Many strong cultivators gathered around the simple hotel and many others followed them to see what would happen. Chiu Uxian knew that those people were there, so she came out. She looked indifferent and cold when she said, "What are you doing here?" "We came for you and the one you say you like," said the leader of the group. It was a young man in white clothes. He had come to become an imperial cultivation disciple. Most were young men, but there were a few older men. "Mind your own business, will you?" said Chiu Uxian coldly. "Uxian, when the elders are not here, I'm basically your big brother. I need to take care of you. Our clan has existed for such a long time. If people of our clan want to get married, everybody in the clan must agree. At that, people of our clan can only marry outstanding people. You're very gifted, you're very strong, you can't make the wrong decision now." "Indeed, sister, we need to see the one you say you like to tell you if he's acceptable," said a young woman smiling. She sounded terribly hypocritical though. The crowd remained silent. Those people were rich and powerful. Chiu Uxian enjoyed being alone because those people weren't honest with her. They didn't really care, they were just hypocritical. "Mind your own business. My heart tells me who to like and it has nothing to do with you. Leave now," said Chiu Uxian. "Sister, we all came to see him, come on," said the girl mockingly. She had always been hostile to Chiu Uxian in the clan. "Shut the hell up," shouted Chiu Uxian furiously to the girl. "Chiu Mei, if you came here to make fun of me, you can leave." "How noisy," said someone at that moment. A young man came out of the small house. Just like the rumors said, it was an ordinary and simple cultivator at the bottom of the Tian Qi layer. He had only broken through to the third Tian Qi layer. Lin Feng had just changed his clothes. He glanced at the crowd and sighed. Chiu Uxian had such a high social status. Lin Feng glanced at the crowd and as accepted, everybody was there, Yang Zilan, Yang Ziyi, Chou Jun Luo. They were trying to tarnish Chiu Uxian's reputation. "Sister, don't tell me you fell in love with this piece of trash," said Chiu Mei mockingly. "Shut the hell up." Chiu Uxian suddenly released energies, but Chiu Mei still looked at Chiu Uxian with a cold smile. "Indeed, he's the one I love, are you satisfied now?" "Fuck off now, all of you," said Chiu Uxian coldly. She admitted that she liked Lin Feng, a cultivator at the bottom Tian Qi layer. Chapter 1003, Kiss Kiss. "Uxian, that's fine, but shouldn't you think about our clan? Do you think they will like him?" asked Chiu Mei smiling. "I don't care. I can live the life I want," said Chiu Uxian coldly. "Since that's what you want." "I can't say anything," said Chiu Mei with a smile. She turned to Lin Feng and said smiling, "Do you actually think you deserve to be loved by my sister?" "Your name is Lin Feng," said Chiu Mei smiling at Lin Feng, but that smile was evil, despising, arrogant. "Indeed," replied Lin Feng indifferently and expressionlessly. "Do you know who my sister is?" said Chiu Mei smiling. "I know. You said it a few times already, the Chiu clan," said Lin Feng. "Since you know, I'll tell you something, Uxian is a young woman of my clan and is quite outstanding. She's famous, many men want to marry her, of them, many are way stronger than you. So let me ask you, even though she likes you, do you deserve that love? Do you think you are a good match?" said Chiu Mei. Everybody was staring at Lin Feng. It didn't matter if Chiu Uxian liked Lin Feng, he was a cultivator at the bottom of the Tian Qi layer, could he be with her? "What does that have to do with you? Do I need you to tell me how to live my life?" Just who do you think you are, said Lin Feng coldly. Xiao Mei was surprised and smiled coldly. You have to be somewhat aware of the situation. You're just a nobody. Do you think an ant can follow dragons to become a dragon? Let me tell you something now, you should be careful with that stinky mouth of yours. Nobody will ever want you if you keep talking like that, said Lin Feng mockingly. Xiao Mei was furious. You want to die, said Xiao Mei. Nobody had ever humiliated her. She hadn't thought Lin Feng would lose his temper too. Lin Feng, come here, said Qiu Yuxian. Lin Feng walked towards Qiu Yuxian. Hug me, said Qiu Yuxian with an infatuating smile. The crowd was astonished. The ice-hearted girl suddenly looked so warm in front of Lin Feng, he made her melt. The guys who were there couldn't stand seeing her act like that with another man. Lin Feng was suddenly drenched in cold sweat. Was she serious? You don't dare, said Qiu Yuxian using telepathy. She was still smiling at Lin Feng with a resplendent smile. Why wouldn't I, said Lin Feng. He then stretched his hands and put them around her waist. Qiu Yuxian shivered and became rigid. She looked nervous. The crowd was astonished. The members of the Qiu clan looked furious. Those who liked Qiu Yuxian were furious. They all wanted to kill Lin Feng. His hands were now on her waist. Qiu Yuxian smiled shyly. She looked so sweet. The crowd was getting even more furious. Qiu Yuxian turned around and wrapped herself up in Lin Feng's arms. She looked at the crowd coldly and said, nobody can tell me who I can like. If someone dares touch him, I will kill them. Now, fuck off. Qiu Yuxian then released ice energies and a cold moon appeared above her. A cold autumn moon, just like her name suggested. The moon looked solitary and cold. Xiao Mei frowned and turned deathly pale. She didn't want to fight Qiu Yuxian. Piss off, said Qiu Yuxian coldly. Xiao Mei frowned and said, all right, sister. Let's hope the clan will not be furious. I hope that you two will always be happy. Xiao Mei was furious. By saying, let's hope the clan will not be furious, she was threatening Qiu Yuxian. Xiao Mei coldly glanced at Lin Feng and then everybody left. One of the most beautiful girls in Ba Huang had fallen in love with a nobody. What a tragedy. Remembering Qiu Yuxian's beautiful smile when she looked at Lin Feng made them even more furious. Qiu Yuxian looked at those people leave. Lin Feng was shivering. Her spirit was incredible. Qiu Yuxian turned around and left. She went back into the room, without saying anything. Lin Feng followed her. Qiu Yuxian turned around and smiled at Lin Feng. What? You want to hug me again? If you'd allow me, said Lin Feng shrugging. You're audacious. You actually dared to hug me in front of so many people. Are you not scared of the Qiu clan? Are you not afraid for your future? Qiu Yuxian was smiling in a resplendent way. She was staring at Lin Feng and looked impatient to hear his reply. I've always been audacious, said Lin Feng smiling. Besides, how could I refuse when you asked me so sweetly? You're too beautiful. You're glib-tongued, but have you never thought of the consequences? No, I haven't, said Lin Feng shaking his head. He was still smiling. She walked towards Lin Feng, slowly and gracefully. She got very close to him. It seemed like she was trying to arouse him. By acting like that, it means that you will marry me, would you dare? Asked Qiu Yuxian in a gentle way. Her breath was brushing against Lin Feng's face. It was difficult for Lin Feng to control himself. He stretched his hands and put his arms around her waist. Qiu Yuxian shivered and looked at him. You've got balls. I told you. Since what I did means we're going to get married, why wouldn't I dare? Is that so? Kiss me, then, said Qiu Yuxian approaching her lips towards Lin Feng's face and slowly closing her eyes. She was so beautiful. Lin Feng couldn't resist. His mouth approached hers. Boom, a terrifying cold energy surrounded Lin Feng. It was piercingly cold. Seal, shouted Lin Feng and released sealing strength. He was firmly holding her in his arms and sealed her pure qi. Qiu Yu Xian opened her eyes. Lin Feng had anticipated her move. You dare, said Qiu Yu Xian coldly. I told you, why wouldn't I, said Lin Feng, and then he kissed her. It was as if a lightning had pierced through her body. Lin Feng then abruptly turned around and left as fast as he could. Xiong Qi looked furious as Lin Feng left. I didn't see anything, said Xiong Qi. Lin Feng grinded his teeth. Xiong Qi was shameless. Chapter 1004, Terrifying flight of stairs. That night, Lin Feng was in his room, practicing cultivation. Boom boom. A sound interrupted his focus. Someone opened the room abruptly. Lin Feng opened his eyes and smiled wryly. What? Am I not welcome here, said Qiu Yu Xian, smiling gently. Of course you are. Qiu Yu Xian entered the room. Lin Feng's heart started pounding as he smiled. I just wouldn't have thought you'd come in the middle of the night. Did you miss me that much? I was alone in my room. Since you didn't come, I came, said Qiu Yu Xian, smiling while getting closer to Lin Feng. Lin Feng felt like he was melting when he looked at her smile. Was she joking again? If you had told me to earlier, I would have come, said Lin Feng, touching her face. Qiu Yu Xian didn't reject him. She smiled at him and whispered, do you enjoy it? Yes, very much so, said Lin Feng, nodding. I want to please you, said Qiu Yu Xian. Suddenly, her smile disappeared and the room became ice cold. Lin Feng seemed surprised. However, he had anticipated her attack again. He immediately released blood strength, otherwise, she could injure him with that strength. Boom boom boom. It seemed like there was a war in that room. It started shaking and it completely collapsed. When they stopped, Lin Feng was out of breath. His clothes were torn and Qiu Yu Xian's punches had left bruises on his skin. He lost again. If you can't even defeat me, how could you confront my clan, said Qiu Yu Xian coldly. Then, she turned around and said, follow me. Where are we going? Shouted Lin Feng. Tiantai, we need to become imperial cultivation disciples, said Qiu Yu Xian without turning around. Lin Feng just followed with a wry smile. Xiong Qi was still lying outside of the cabin. Lin Feng was pissed off that Xiong Qi was peeking on them. You bastard, said Lin Feng coldly. Then, he followed Qiu Yu Xian. After the two left, Qiu Yu Xian looked at Qiu Yu Xian from behind, looking rather pensive. That girl fell in love with Lin Feng so fast, could it be, whispered Xiong Qi. Xiong Qi didn't think about it much longer. He couldn't be sure. He was wondering if it was a very good or a very bad thing for Lin Feng. Qiu Yu Xian and Lin Feng arrived at the bottom of the flight of stairs. It was the middle of the night and the moon was shining on the flight of stairs. We still have a dozen days to go to get up those 18,000 steps. We need to train. If we're trained, we won't have to worry about my clan. We have to become imperial cultivation disciples, we must, said Qiu Yu Xian, looking at the moon. Lin Feng looked at her but said nothing. Qiu Yu Xian didn't like that. She looked at him and said, did you hear what I said? I have to become an imperial cultivation disciple so that I can marry you without your clan opposing our union, right? Said Lin Feng, smiling before adding, it seems like you really decided to marry me. Qiu Yu Xian looked at him and smiled in a mischievous way. We hugged and kissed already, don't you want to push things further? Of course I do. I am a responsible person, said Lin Feng when he saw that Qiu Yu Xian looked scared. Well, let's go up then, said Qiu Yu Xian, still smiling. Lin Feng didn't say much. He immediately started going up the stairs. Even though it was the middle of the night, Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxian weren't the only ones running up. Qiu Yuxian and Lin Feng were very fast as the wind. They soon climbed 3,000 steps and the pressure was already monstrous. "You're too slow. Keep up with me," said Qiu Yuxian while turning around and smiling at Lin Feng. Lin Feng nodded and calmly followed. Despite the oppressive energies, Lin Feng's speed didn't change. After a while, Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxian arrived on the 10,000th step. The energy was incredibly oppressive, they could barely breathe. It was as if they were carrying mountains on their backs. "You all right?" asked Qiu Yuxian to Lin Feng. 10,000 steps, that's nothing. "Of course I'm all right," said Lin Feng smiling. He had wrapped himself up in wind and tent, of course he was all right. He just paused for a few seconds to take a breath. Then, he started flying up the stairs again. Qiu Yuxian followed him. Very quickly, they reached the 13,000th step. Lin Feng didn't stop this time and directly climbed up to the 15,000th step. Qiu Yuxian's eyes were twinkling. She kept looking at Lin Feng's back. She was already getting out of breath and was sweating profusely. She needed to stop for a few seconds to breathe, but Lin Feng didn't stop. How can he stand the pressure? Is his blood made of iron or what? Whispered Qiu Yuxian. Lin Feng hadn't stopped at all, not only did he rely on his strength, but also on his blood strength. If a cultivator had a weak blood, they could explode under this pressure. When Qiu Yuxian reached the 16,000th step, she couldn't stand it anymore and finally stopped. She looked at Lin Feng who hadn't stopped and shouted, out of breath, "Lin Feng, wait for me." She sounded fragile and innocent. Lin Feng turned around and looked at her smiling. The cold-hearted and solitary girl looked completely exhausted. "Who told you to go up so fast?" said Qiu Yuxian. Lin Feng remained speechless. She had told him to hurry up a few times. "Let's breathe deeply. We have 2,000 more steps to climb after all," said Qiu Yuxian. After a few minutes, her eyes started twinkling again and she said, "Let's continue." "All right." Lin Feng nodded and they continued climbing the stairs. The oppressive force was becoming unbearable. The strength everyone differently. The stronger a cultivator was, the more oppressive the force was. Therefore, the force oppressing Qiu Yuxian was more intense than the force oppressing Lin Feng. After an hour, they reached the 17,000th step. A terrifying force was oppressing them. Qiu Yuxian stopped again and looked at Lin Feng. "You bastard, how come your blood is so strong?" "I never said my blood was weak," said Lin Feng. Qiu Yuxian smiled again and said, "We reached the 17,000th step. I overestimated the difficulty of the stairs, we will soon reach Tiantai." The two of them continued climbing the stairs. The oppressive forces were incredibly intense by this point. It felt like their blood was going to explode under that pressure. "We're almost there," said Lin Feng raising his head. 17,900 steps. 100 more to go. Phew, Qiu Yuxian could barely breathe, she smiled and said, "Right, almost. 100 more. We can do it." Then, she condensed pure qi and walked up 18 more steps, 82 more. Boom, she made another step and turned all red. But she smiled and said, "Lin Feng, 81 more steps." She looked excited, only 81 more steps. Boom boom. The oppressive force felt like a mountain had suddenly fallen onto her, her body was propelled backwards and blood splashed out of her mouth. Chapter 1005, As hard as reaching the clouds. Lin Feng looked at her, he was startled. He quickly jumped and tried to grab her. Boom boom boom. He caught her in his arms and boom. The oppressive force was suddenly so much more powerful. "Let me go, you can't stand two levels of oppressive force at the same time," said Qiu Yuxian. Lin Feng firmly held her in his arms while his blood boiled. He managed to reduce the shaking and lay her on a step. They had fallen down of a few dozen steps. "Are you all right?" asked Lin Feng, wiping the blood off the corner of her mouth. It was unbearable for Lin Feng to see Qiu Yuxian injured. "I'm all right." Qiu Yuxian jumped out of Lin Feng's arms and sat down on a step. She looked at him perplexed. She hadn't thought Lin Feng's blood was so strong. Surprisingly, Lin Feng had managed to catch her in his arms and stand her oppressive force along with his. How could he manage that? Especially seeing how she couldn't. "What happened?" asked Lin Feng. She had only 81 steps to go and was propelled away. "The strength of those stairs is terrifying," said Qiu Yuxian. "I'll try," said Lin Feng. Very quickly, he arrived where Qiu Yuxian was. "Be careful, Lin Feng, it's really scary," warned Qiu Yuxian. They were alone at that height. Many people couldn't stand the force and had to train to get higher. Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxian had used lots of blood strength and pure qi to get there. 18,000 steps, said someone at that moment. Lin Feng Qiu Yuxian looked over and saw someone standing there. Someone from Tiantai. Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxian looked at that person. Someone was already at the top, they had to be from Tiantai. That person wore normal clothes and looked both calm and simple. That person was wearing a necklace and had no hair at all. "Is that a Buddhist monk?" whispered Lin Feng to himself. That person looked like a Buddhist monk. But Qiu Yuxian said something else, "Sadhu. The last 81 steps are the most difficult, reaching the clouds is as hard as climbing those last steps. You should come back for the exam," said the sadhu in a low voice, but was distinct. "As hard as reaching the clouds," whispered Lin Feng. Those last steps were the real exam. The first step to becoming an imperial cultivation disciple was to climb up the whole flight of stairs. "Master, how many do we have to climb to pass the exam?" asked Qiu Yuxian to the young sadhu. Even though he was young, they understood that he was also probably a very strong cultivator. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in Tiantai and wouldn't be there to protect the flight of stairs. Those 81 steps are divided into 9 different sorts of steps. Each group of 9 steps contains different sorts of oppressive strength. Going up 2 groups is enough to qualify, replied the sadhu. Qiu Yuxian looked at Lin Feng. 2 groups is like 10 floors, 9 groups must be very difficult then. "Master, can I try?" asked Lin Feng to the sadhu. The sadhu smiled and said, "Today you can't, but since we're old friends, try taking a step." Old friends? Lin Feng was confused. He looked at the sadhu, but he didn't know him. Why was he saying that they were old friends? "Master, do you know me?" asked Lin Feng. He was too curious. "Lin Feng," said the sadhu. Lin Feng was astonished. He knew him. Qiu Yuxian was also astonished. The sadhu knew Lin Feng. What was going on? Someone from Tiantai, an emperor's personal disciple, knew Lin Feng. Qiu Yuxian smiled at Lin Feng in a resplendent way and said, "You still have many things to tell me." Lin Feng was speechless. He looked at Qiu Yuxian and said, "You never asked either, but," then, Lin Feng looked at the sadhu again and said, "But, I've never seen you. Where do you know me from?" "From my second fellow disciple," said the sadhu smiling. Then, he said, "All right, Lin Feng, do your best to become an imperial cultivation disciple, you'll understand then." Second fellow disciple. Lin Feng was astonished. He suddenly remembered the one Qiong Qi always called a real genius, the second personal disciple of Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu, Ho Qing Lin. Indeed, that had to be him. Ho Qing Lin had come to Ganyu and helped Lin Feng a few times. But Lin Feng still didn't understand why. Ho Qin Lin was so powerful he even humiliated people like Xian Yuan. In front of Ho Qin Lin, Lin Feng was a speck of dust. Why did he attach so much importance to Lin Feng? Besides, he had helped him a few times. Lin Feng was astonished. Qiu Yuxian's smile was even brighter. That guy surprisingly knew people from Tiantai, and on top of that, sadhus. His social status was directly much higher. Xiu Mei and the others wouldn't be disrespectful to him if they knew that. The Yang clan either. He wouldn't have been humiliated when he accompanied Yang Ziyi back to her clan. Qiu Yuxian was impatient to see Lin Feng become an imperial cultivation disciple. Those people would be surprised to see that Lin Feng knew Tiantai's people. Lin Feng started going up again, his blood was boiling. The strength contained in the steps depended on the cultivator's strength. However, Lin Feng's strength was a lot higher compared to his cultivation level. Therefore, the steps in front of him weren't difficult to climb. It was extremely difficult for Qiu Yuxian because her strength was the same as her cultivation level, if not lower. Qiu Yuxian was wondering if Lin Feng could climb the first 9 steps. Lin Feng slowly started going up. Boom boom boom, a powerful oppressive force crashed onto Lin Feng's back. The oppressive force there was even more intense than the previous steps. Lin Feng's clothes and hair were fluttering in the whistling wind. Qiu Yuxian was nervous, she was staring at Lin Feng, motionless. Lin Feng was incredibly persistent. He used his demon strength as well as his strength of the Buddha. Right now, he was strong enough to kill a cultivator of the 5th Tian Qi layer and even ordinary cultivators of the 6th Tian Qi layer. He slowly walked up, explosions sounded as Lin Feng persevered. The force was rolling in the sky. 80 more steps to go. Lin Feng's eyes were twinkling with sharp lights. His blood seemed like it was going to explode. Qiu Yuxian's nervousness slowly faded and she smiled. Lin Feng was incredible. Lin Feng had just succeeded where she had failed. Chapter 1006, Calmly understanding the flight of stairs. The sadhu smiled and nodded at Lin Feng. The first part of the exam shouldn't be too difficult for you. On the day of the exam, we'll see if you can finish. Thank you, master, said Lin Feng politely. He then turned around and went down the stairs. The sadhu had given him the opportunity to try. Lin Feng wanted to continue going up, but he already had the opportunity to do more than was allowed for others. He had to be content. The sadhu turned around and left. Lin Feng couldn't sense the energies coming from upstairs anymore. Each step had a hidden force. Nobody knew how it would be. Not bad, even the master said you would have no problem during the first part of the exam, said Qiu Yuxian smiling. I wonder if there are several rounds. The master made it sound like there were, said Lin Feng. The first part was already difficult. Even some talented cultivators would find it difficult. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's recruitment process can't be easy. There are many other emperors in Bahuang province. They also recruit imperial cultivation disciples, but too many people try to become their imperial cultivation disciples. They already have so many disciples. It's not that interesting to be part of gigantic groups as an imperial cultivation disciple. This time, it's different. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu are organizing their first recruitment process. The ones who succeed will become the emperor's direct disciples. Many geniuses came from many other parts of Bahuang province as well, not only from the northern part. We just haven't seen them. Wait until the exam, you'll see, said Qiu Yuxian to Lin Feng slowly before adding, in the future, out of those who will have succeeded, they will maybe pick a more restricted selection of disciples to become their direct disciples. That's most rich and young cultivators' goal. Lin Feng nodded. He understood. Rich and young cultivators were arrogant and didn't want to be considered ordinary imperial cultivation disciples, especially people like Xian Yuan who had imperial blood. He wanted to receive an emperor's direct instructions and become an emperor too. Lin Feng, if you become a direct imperial disciple, everybody will respect you. It is a symbolic social status. The Qiu clan will have to respect you too, whispered Qiu Yuxian. She sounded impatient. You're so impatient to marry me, said Lin Feng smiling. Qiu Yuxian looked at him. The moon is beautiful tonight, let's sleep here, said Lin Feng looking at the sky. He was smiling in a resplendent way. It felt like they had a mountain weighing on their back. Surprisingly, he wanted to sleep there. If we stay here for a few days, we will get used to the force. Then, when we go down, we won't feel any weight, explained Lin Feng. As you wish, said Qiu Yuxian indifferently. She then sat down. This meant that she agreed. Lin Feng sat down too and closed his eyes. He calmly sensed those energies. He was trying to understand that force. It was oppressing his skin, his flesh, his blood and his bones. Undergoing such challenges made cultivators become stronger. Lin Feng took out his Tianxian stone and the force of the earth and the sky instantly became much more intense. Lin Feng could sense the pulsations of the earth and sky even. He entered in a meditative state and started using his corporeal strength to resist the energies. It was difficult at first, but over time, it became easier. Lin Feng fell into a trance, he was gone. Nothing existed around him anymore, at least, he wasn't aware of anything. The moonlight slowly disappeared and it was the morning. Qiu Yuxian opened her eyes. Her body felt sore. She looked at Lin Feng. He was calm, he was even smiling. She was more and more surprised every day. Qiu Yuxian went down a few steps and suddenly felt much better. Just like Lin Feng had said, if they stayed on the higher steps, going down would be easy. However, staying up there a whole night had wore her out. She went to the bottom of the stairs, sat down cross-legged and closed her eyes again. Lin Feng was still in a meditative state. As if he had forgotten everything around him. Very quickly, 3 days passed. Many people came and saw Lin Feng. They were all surprised. A cultivator of the third Tian Qi layer could stay up there calmly, that was very surprising. He looked like a mystic being. Some people tried to copy him, but very few people could stay up there that long. Qiu Yuxian opened her eyes and looked at Lin Feng. His face was red, but he looked like he was enjoying it. He looked like he was enjoying a sauna bath. What a guy, thought Qiu Yuxian. She was speechless. Lin Feng was enjoying it when the others suffered. The sadhu appeared at the top of the stairs and looked at Lin Feng, he smiled. Then, he turned around and left again. He didn't want to disturb Lin Feng. Qiu Yuxian was staring at Lin Feng with an indifferent smile. Just looking at Lin Feng was making her feel relaxed. Why are you staring at me, said Lin Feng at that moment. She was startled and turned around. Lin Feng didn't say anything after that. Qiu Yuxian was wondering if he was practicing cultivation or if he was actually awake. He was holding his Tianxian stone and studying the force of the earth and sky. Even though Lin Feng's eyes were closed, he could still see her. A strong wind started blowing above Qiu Yuxian's head. She saw Lin Feng above her and he was surrounded by a terrifying pure qi. The qi of the earth and sky was spinning. Lin Feng was absorbing the strength of the earth and sky at a rapid rate. His pure qi turned into a tornado and shuttled back into his body. Qiu Yuxian was surprised, what was he doing? When the energy made it inside Lin Feng's body, Qiu Yuxian sensed that he had become stronger. He had progressed from the bottom of the third Tian Qi layer to the middle. Phew, Lin Feng exhaled and a pure qi came out from his mouth. Then, it dispersed. Lin Feng slowly opened his eyes. He felt terribly good. Lin Feng stood up and smiled at Qiu Yuxian. It was as if there were no oppressive energies anymore. It couldn't affect him at least. How pleasant, said Lin Feng smiling. The next steps would be easy for him. Chapter 1007, Remember Forever, I feel so bad, said Qiu Yuxian. Lin Feng smiled. He had used his Tian Xian stone the whole time to study the force of the earth and sky. He made the accumulated force flow in his body, and in the end, the force had become a part of himself. So he felt very comfortable. He had made a lot of progress. Let's go back. The recruitment process will start soon, said Lin Feng smiling. 7 more days, replied Qiu Yuxian. 7 days. Lin Feng nodded and they left. Going down was easy, going up was difficult. They were used to being at the top though. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's recruitment process was going to start soon. Many strong cultivators were gathered there. Lin Feng was wondering where Yu and Mo Shi were and if they had already arrived. He hadn't seen them since the Ba Huang Sea. If Yu and the others had left the island of the 9 dragons, they should have arrived by now. But maybe, they were stuck on the island of the 9 dragons. Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxian didn't stop in the middle of the crowd. They went back to their hotel. However, from far away, they saw some people and stopped. There were people waiting inside for them. The Qiu clan? Asked Lin Feng. Indeed, said Qiu Yuxian nodding. Someone opened the door and several people came out. Qiu Mei was there. The leader, however, was a middle-aged man. He looked at Qiu Yuxian and said, "What? Don't you recognize me?" said the middle-aged man coldly. "Uncle," said Qiu Yuxian coldly. "So, you won't greet me?" "You're becoming more and more insolent," said the middle-aged man coldly. It seemed like they didn't like each other much. "I don't feel like it," said Qiu Yuxian coldly. "You don't feel like it? You felt like looking for a cultivator of the 3rd Tian Qi layer and you dare say there are some things you don't feel like doing," said the middle-aged man with a cold smile. Qiu Yuxian frowned and said coldly, "Uncle, you're an elder. I don't want to argue with you. There are some things which concern myself only. My parents can talk to me about those things, nobody else." "All right, very good. Come with me," said the middle-aged man. "Sorry, I won't," said Qiu Yuxian, shaking her head indifferently. Humph, the middle-aged man already knew she was going to refuse. In the Qiu clan, Qiu Yuxian was one of the most talented young people, not many people could tell her what to do. "Your grandfather wants to see you. Don't you want to see your grandfather?" "My grandfather is here." Qiu Yuxian looked upset. "Baby girl escaped with a boy, of course he came," said the middle-aged man mockingly. "Uncle, if you speak to me like that again, don't blame me for being impolite," said Qiu Yuxian in a rude way. Her voice was getting even colder. "Good. You're growing up now," said the middle-aged man. He then said, "I'm telling you your grandfather wants to see you, come with me, or won't you?" Qiu Yuxian pulled a long face and looked at Lin Feng. There were internal conflicts in the Qiu clan, she didn't want to leave though because she was worried about Lin Feng. But if she didn't go, her grandfather would be furious. That was a dilemma. "If you're worried, he can come too. Your grandfather could meet him. You can show him how outstanding the young man with whom you fell in love is," said the middle-aged man with a cold smile. Qiu Yuxian couldn't bring Lin Feng to see her grandfather. But what would happen otherwise? "You can go." "Nothing will happen to me," said Lin Feng smiling. "Little girl, you can go, nothing will happen to that bastard," said a voice behind Lin Feng. Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxian looked over at Xiong Qi. He looked so nonchalant. Qiu Yuxian was speechless too. Xiong Qi was calling her little girl. "I promise you the Qiu clan won't touch him while we're away," said Qiu Yuxian's uncle. "Where is Grandpa?" Am I going alone? Asked Qiu Yuxian. Periphery of Tianjing, said the middle-aged man indifferently. Qiu Yuxian nodded at Lin Feng and said, Be careful. Qiu Yuxian then left. The middle-aged man looked at Lin Feng and said with a smile, the Qiu clan doesn't even need to do anything to such a person. Then, he left with the rest of the group. When they left, Qiu Mei looked at Lin Feng coldly. In her eyes, Lin Feng was already dead. Iya. Qiong Qi sighed. Little boy, everybody really thinks a small cat could kill you. Make them remember you this time, said Qiong Qi. In the distance, several people appeared and suddenly surrounded Lin Feng. Chou Jun Luo, good to see you, said Lin Feng. He looked at Lin Feng with murder in his eyes. He was fuming with anger. This time, I will kill you, said Chou Jun Luo coldly. The ones with him were of the same level, cultivators of the 5th Tian Qi layer. They were all incredible cultivators and none of them were ordinary. They were all cultivators from big and powerful clans. Who are you? We don't know each other, said Lin Feng glancing at the others. They were all strangers. Of course, he knew few people in Ba Huang province. The problem was, there were people who he didn't know who wanted to kill him as well. There are many people who want to kill you because you offended Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi. Now, you also offended the Qiu clan. You've gone too far, said Chou Jun Luo coldly. I understand, said Lin Feng with a resplendent smile. Because he had offended Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi, many people who wanted to be close to the Yangs or the Qius wanted to kill him, especially those who were in love with Qiu Yuxian. Last time, you used a sword to fight, if you didn't have that sword, you would be dead already. Now, I will give you one more chance, and this time, if you don't use your sword, I'll kill you instantly. I swear, if you decide to use your sword, we'll join hands to kill you, said Chou Jun Luo. He didn't want to be humiliated like last time. He knew that if Lin Feng used his sword, he'd lose again. You're right, I'll make them remember me forever, said Lin Feng to Qiong Qi. He then started walking forwards looking carefree. If you want to kill me, attack together, said Lin Feng whose voice rolled in the air. Chou Jun Luo and the others were dumbstruck, but immediately threw themselves at Lin Feng. Chapter 1008, Chou Jun Luo is scared. You want to escape, said Chou Jun Luo. He opened his silver wings and they were as dazzling as before. Chou Jun Luo turned into an illusion as he moved towards Lin Feng. The others were also very fast and closely followed Chou Jun Luo. Lin Feng had a level 6 wind intent. At the same time, he knew how to use the Xiaoyao agility technique, so he was as fast as lightning. Chou Jun Luo was actually surprised by his speed. That's the Xiaoyao agility technique. The Xiaoyao agility technique was a technique of the godly Xiaoyao sect from Ba Huang province. It was an imperial skill. Everybody knew the godly Xiaoyao sect. How could Lin Feng know it? Was Lin Feng a member of the godly Xiaoyao sect? Impossible, Yang Ziyi told me Lin Feng was a foreigner. He must have learnt it from someone, thought Chou Jun Luo. Many people wanted to learn the Xiaoyao agility technique from the godly Xiaoyao sect because it was one of the most efficient in terms of agility. But Chou Jun Luo was still confused though. Many people learnt the technique from the sect, but their speed was always limited. However, Lin Feng's speed was terrifying, Chou Jun Luo couldn't even catch up with him. If he can use the real agility technique, he would be even faster, thought Chou Jun Luo. Lin Feng had to die. Lin Feng could even use the strength of the earth and sky with his Xiaoyao agility technique. Bzzz, a dazzling white light illuminated the atmosphere. He opened his wings which turned into 1,000 wings. Chou Jun Luo suddenly became a lot faster. Lin Feng just smiled coldly. He shook his hand as if he was using something. He suddenly much faster and a sonic boom was even heard. Cho Jun Luo was astonished and looked upset. He couldn't catch up with Lin Feng in terms of speed, how could he kill him? Cho Jun Luo had a talisman in his hand, if he broke it, Yang Zilan would immediately know that he was in danger. In that case, Yang Zilan would come back using a boat. The Yang clan had powerful blood and precious treasures. That's why they had so many boats. Qiu Yu Xian was a member of the Qiu clan, but didn't possess such treasures. Lin Feng slowed down and flew to the ground. Cho Jun Luo was surprised and stopped. He smiled coldly, this was his opportunity to kill Lin Feng. Lin Feng landed in a desolate place, it looked like a wasteland. Many people had gone to Tiantai, so there weren't many people in the surrounding areas. Cho Jun Luo followed Lin Feng closely. His wings were still dazzling. He didn't attack immediately though, he waited above Lin Feng in the sky. You seem scared of me. Why do you fight then? Said Lin Feng mockingly. Cho Jun Luo was still relying on his winged spirit. If he didn't, Lin Feng could kill him with one sword strike. The others weren't getting too close to Lin Feng either. Humph, if you didn't have your sword, I'd kill you easily. Said Cho Jun Luo coldly. That's the same as me saying, if you didn't have a spirit, you'd be dead already, said Lin Feng laughing. Cho Jun Luo was pathetic. My spirit is part of my natural abilities. It comes from my body. Your sword is an external strength. The others quickly surrounded Lin Feng again. Many people want to kill me, you should attack together while you still have the opportunity, said Lin Feng glancing at the crowd. I can kill you alone, the others can protect me from your sword, that's enough, said Cho Jun Luo coldly. He then started flapping his wings again. Everybody remained silent and vigilant. Those people had come because of Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi. Some others were there because of the Qiu clan. They didn't care about who killed Lin Feng or not. The most important thing was that Lin Feng died. Die, shouted Cho Jun Luo furiously. In a flash, his wind spirit emitted whistling sounds again. Destroy, said Lin Feng while punching the atmosphere. His punch emitted explosions as it headed forward. Bzzz. Cho Jun Luo's blood started boiling and his blood strength rolled in the air. And now your blood strength, said Lin Feng. He was surrounded by waves of blood strength. Lin Feng released his own blood strength. It slowly rose up in the air. At the same time, he condensed the force of the earth and the sky. The atmosphere was distorted as the wind was still moving towards Lin Feng. Cho Jun Luo was confused. What was it now? At that moment, he condensed an infinite amount of silver energies. However, Lin Feng was standing there, in the middle of those energies with a certain strength surrounding him. It was barely visible, but contained the force of the earth and sky. Blood strength. Cho Jun Luo quickly realized. How could Lin Feng have such a powerful blood strength? He was confused. Indeed, blood strength, you're not the only who has blood strength, said Lin Feng coldly, which made Cho Jun Luo come back to his senses. The others were surprised too. Lin Feng's blood strength was quite powerful. It was even emitting very loud sounds. It was actually stronger than theirs. They all frowned. Lin Feng's ancestors were probably extremely strong. Had he told them the truth about his social status? Are you really not a member of the Lin clan? Asked Cho Jun Luo. I told you I'm not. Well then, what clan do you belong to? Shouted Cho Jun Luo furiously. Lin Feng smiled mockingly, you're scared. Cho Jun Luo was scared, indeed. What a powerful blood strength. A good fighter, empty space techniques, a terrifying sword, fine, he could understand that those things could be learnt, but blood strength? Where did it come from? All those elements combined meant that Lin Feng's ancestors had a terrifying blood strength, his clan had incredible secret books with powerful techniques and powerful items, otherwise, Lin Feng couldn't be this scary. Chapter 1009, Lin Feng. The terror. The continent of the 9 clouds was vast and there were many extraordinary people. Without powerful blood, a cultivator's spirit was quite weak. Blood and spirits were two different things. A cultivator inherited from a spirit and blood was transmitted from Zoon-level ancestors. Having a powerful blood strength contributed to having a powerful spirit. Lin Feng had a strong blood, that's why he thought Lin Feng's ancestor was a powerful cultivator. Besides, he also knew an empty space technique and had the Tianji sword. Only rich people had such things usually. Lin Feng's ancestor had to be incredible. Lin Feng rose up in the air and glanced at Chou Junluo. Your powerful blood granted you extraordinary abilities. However, you're wasting your abilities acting like a dog for the Yang clan. I will show you with just my blood that I don't need a sword to defeat you. Lin Feng jumped forwards and released an incredible amount of strength. The dazzling silver lights paled in comparison. Chou Junluo was incredulous. Last time he had seen Lin Feng, he had broken through to the second Tian Qi layer. Now with the strength of the third Tian Qi layer and a powerful blood spirit, Chou Junluo was less confident in himself. Lin Feng slowly walked towards him. His feet were absorbing the force of the earth and the sky. The atmosphere changed as snowflakes were falling. Die! Shouted Chou Junluo furiously. He rose up in the air, opening his wings. His wings were as sharp as blades. If he reached Lin Feng, he would certainly kill him. Empty space bestial illusion technique, said Lin Feng in a mystical way. His snowy tunnel appeared. Chou Junluo pierced through Lin Feng but nothing happened, as if Lin Feng was an illusion. This empty space technique again. Chou Junluo was furious. That technique was too difficult to deal with. Last time, he took great efforts to destroy Lin Feng's illusion technique. Chou Junluo was furious, he couldn't afford being stuck in the illusion this time. Are you not coming to kill me? Why aren't you willing to fight me? Said Lin Feng laughing. Chou Junluo looked at the others and said, that's an ancient illusion technique, help me, we have to destroy it. All right. The others nodded and surrounded Lin Feng while releasing terrifying energies. His illusion technique isn't perfect. It's quite small. If our attack is powerful enough, we'll destroy it easily. Everybody, use your most powerful attack to destroy it, said one of them while releasing his spirit, a gigantic sword. That gigantic sword diffused dazzling lights and looked quite scary. Yes, let's break his illusion and kill him. We don't need to waste any more time here, said another one coldly. He released his spirit too, a gigantic mountain which was seen to possess a bit of speed. Everybody was releasing their spirits or using various attacks to destroy Lin Feng's illusion technique. Sounds like a plan. Let's kill him as fast as possible then, said Chou Junluo nodding. Lin Feng's blood had become too strong, they couldn't easily kill him. Joining hands was the better solution. They really strong indeed, thought Lin Feng. The earth and sky had changed drastically with all those energies. However, could they kill Lin Feng that way? Lin Feng still had some tricks. Since you're joining hands, I should kill you all at the same time now, said Lin Feng laughing. The others were surprised. Was Lin Feng insane? How could he laugh? Killing them at the same time. Lin Feng released pale dark lights and his eyes turned pitch black. He looked like a demon. Chou Junluo opened his wings, one couldn't see the sky anymore under all those powers. He fixedly stared at Lin Feng and said, no matter who you are, you'll die today. Die, die, die. They all released their energies at the same time. The gigantic sword fell upon Lin Feng's snowy tunnel. At the same time, the gigantic mountain spirit also fell down on the snowy tunnel and caused it to crack. Cho Jun Luo landed in the snowy tunnel. The snowy tunnel started shaking. Lin Feng's illusion created another world, so if the attack wasn't powerful enough, it couldn't be dispelled. Even though it was a small one, it was difficult for Tian-level cultivators to destroy such spells. Even while inside, they couldn't notice any characteristics that would normally inform them that it was an illusion spell. "Come and break it then," said Lin Feng. Rumbling sounds spread in the air. The earth and sky were shaking along with the snowy tunnel. Then, the energy of the snowy tunnel disappeared. It was broken. "Die," said everyone laughing. However, Lin Feng released demonic energies and moved his hands. It looked like he was dancing. "Demon destruction," yelled Lin Feng in a piercingly cold and deep voice. In a flash, black lights invaded the atmosphere. Everybody felt like they were stuck, as if encased in cement. "Killing so many noble cultivators at once, what a pity," said Lin Feng. Then, he shook his hand and a black fire appeared. Boom, boom. Lin Feng punched those cultivators with the fire and they started burning while emitting horrible shrieks. Bzzz, bzzz, Lin Feng was extremely fast. Before anyone could react, he had punched all of them and they were all burning in a black fire. Cho Jun Luo was higher up in the air, so he didn't get caught up in the attack. However, he already didn't feel like fighting anymore. How scary. Lin Feng possessed pitch-black pupils and looked like a demon. What a powerful demon cultivation. For a cultivator at the bottom of the Tian Qi layer, he wasn't bad at all.